Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to it. The boys are back to business, and we have a very special guest today. We have Nhlanhla Lux in the building.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Big pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Pele, you're a busy man. You don't have a lot of time.
It's
you know?
madness, but look, I'd rather be here than anywhere else right now.
Yeah,
I know we appreciate.
And this is coming from the people's president.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out for pulling through.
Sure.
Yeah, so like I said, can we start with a quick little introduction of yourself and who is Nhlanhla Lux?
Sure. Nhlanhla Lux is a guy that was born in Soweto, grew up in Soweto, and still lives in Soweto. My plan was never to ever leave Soweto and contribute towards the development of Soweto as best as I possibly can. Growing up, I lived in two worlds. I went to among easily one of the best schools in the continent, and that school was St. David's Maristananda in Sentinel. So I was there on a bursary. I was just good with the pen and paper. And during the day, I'm in the richest square mile in Africa. And then time flies, then I have to go to the
biggest township in South Africa.
To the biggest township in South Africa, easily one of the biggest in the world.
Yeah.
Also, arguably, one of the poorest square miles in Africa.
Yeah.
So you spend the day in the richest square mile, you spend the night in the poorest square mile.
Yeah, I know.
So that's me in a nutshell. So with time, learn to master best of both worlds. And that's why I can move the way I move, because I don't have any inferiority complex over white people, like most of us do. And there's nothing you can tell me about the hood that I don't know, from language to exercising the hood, the various cultures in the hood, talking various hood languages, official and unofficial. There's nothing that says hood that I can't do. And there's very little that says opulent side of things that I can't participate in. I'm not a social misfit in the boardroom. I'm not a social misfit in Santon. I'm not a social misfit in Soweto, or Mums, or Cooks, or anyway. So growing up in two worlds was tough, but it conditioned me to be this guy. You know, the old classic tale of people that says, if you get seen with a white guy, the chances are the white guy's capturing you. Who said we're not capturing the white guy? You see? But that comes from you having the confidence and understanding yourself.
That you can also capture.
Sure.
You can also conquer.
Yeah. I mean, if I see you in a boardroom with 10 white guys, why am I thinking that I ganyi or they're capturing you now?
Yeah.
Why can't I think that here? That's the boy doing his thing.
You don't see the constant, the problem is the common denominator, meaning that over time, the minute we see you with, let's say, the white guy or the white man, a lot of the time it's to the compromise of the black nation or the black people. Sure. So now when we see you, we definitely think, oh no, he's gone. Like they've got him, you know.
And I also think it's a thing of, like, we know that who has the power in the room.
Yeah.
Who's the one dictating the negotiations and the terms, you know. I think that's why we also see it like he's the one that's being captured.
Sure.
Because in most cases, we are the ones without the power.
Not necessarily. It's how you define power. Power is not just economics. White people have economic power. So you have a lot of social power right now. A white guy your age doesn't have a platform to reach out to a lot of people. But they've got the money. So what power are we talking about here? So you can go trade your social power for a little bit of coin. You see? So you even have political power just by virtue of being black. It's there. I don't need to explain that because we live in a time where it's a predominantly black-led government, even though government is not.
Is it really black-led though?
Yeah, I mean, again, that question has substance of us determining whether people are captured or not. It comes back to that, right?
Because puppet masters are
but
in the shadows.
But again, we need to realize that this thing of puppet mastering. We're giving dinosaurs more power than they deserve. We're bringing dinosaurs to life.
Yeah.
So I think white people were extremely powerful yesterday, not today. They continue to have their hands on the levers of power, economic power, which is probably more important than political power and social power, right? But all they have is their influence on it, but not their grips. And we have a decision as the Black nation to come together, unite, and take decisions to make sure that 2024, we're all voting together. We have that potential, but we're not doing it.
Voting for what, though?
Voting. So, for example, the only time when we had the opportunity to change policy and change the constitution was under Thabo Mbeki, when he got 75% majority.
Yeah.
That's the only time you can change without question, without needing anyone. You can change the constitution.
Yeah.
And he didn't. I mean, if I ever meet him, I want to know why he led an administration that had the potential to change policies for the better. And he didn't.
Yeah.
So, but that's a conversation for another time. But I'm saying now, we can literally come together, unite. We've got the numbers, but we do not unite. Instead, all these old Black people, instead of helping the young, they see them as competition and try. What's that popular thing with things like you make G's show and this show? What do they call you? What do they try to do? Cancel you. You see? And who cancels you? Do you think a 19-year-old UJ is cancelling you? Hell no. You're being cancelled by probably another Black person who's older than you. The dinosaurs.
Who was threatened.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all threatened.
Do you think Julius Malema is threatened by you?
Shame, man. Julius is such a sad topic. We thought Julius would be
interesting,
the guy to lead the revolution.
Yeah, that's
true. But he's politicking. But he can't. His bullets can't get to me because I'm not within his reach. I'm not in politics, so he gets frustrated. And I'd rather have him not become frustrated. He's unfortunately starting to become like the old people he used to hate. He's that old guy now. We're those young guys now.
Isn't that there's a saying? What? The longer you live, you stand a chance to become the villain.
Oh yes, certainly.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah.
So he is doing what he knows, I guess, and it's not my position to judge him. But I guess I failed myself. I had high hopes in Julius, not as an EFF person, because I don't subscribe to the EFF or any other political party. But as a human being, he had it. He had it. He was the voice of reason amongst the young people. You would rely on him to say the right thing that you can't say.
Yeah.
Maybe not that you can't say it, but you're not within reach of the mic to say it loud enough.
Yeah.
He had the mic. And he's the one that we actually looked up to. He was saying the right things. And instead of fighting the emerging Black voices that he also influenced. Look, it's no joke. Julius influenced a lot of young people, myself included, because in some time we would religiously listen to his videos, and get the necessary background, education, and influence that we needed to get, and alignment, political alignment we needed to get when he was in the youth league, the ANC youth league, and in the EFF. We're not subscribing to the politics. We're subscribing to him.
Yeah.
And it's just sad that in his time he thinks that the only thing that matters is things that are to do with the EFF. So he leads members. He doesn't lead society, and that's why you don't catch him on the ground when the real issues hit the ground.
I mean, like, he's had certain times where he was there on the ground. There was that incident, I think, at a school.
Yeah.
I think it was a year or two ago where EFF, there was an EFF rally or a march that caused, I mean, I wouldn't say like it was just chaotic, because they ended up fighting and some ladies were beaten and pushed away and stuff like that. So he was there, but also you're going to get to a point of your life where you can't be always on the ground.
You can. Let me tell you why. There's the problem with our politicians and how the systems are set up. They're set up to making you believe that if you want to make a change in the country, you need to leave your community and go join a political party, and your aspirations are that of getting to the top, maybe sitting in the South African parliament, and then making decisions for the same community that you left. I think that's a lie. I think it's just the wrong conditioning. I think that, look, think about it. Think of any politician in parliament right now. Whichever one you have in your head, think of where they come from. Wherever they come from, there's drugs, youth unemployment, there's social ills, there's corruption, both in service delivery and in the law enforcement. So we are then expecting people who failed to change their communities for the better to come and change the country for the better. I think the problem is with us, not with them. So for me, the model is simple. If you can prove to us that where you come from, you have a case study, you've effected enough change and leadership, change in the infrastructure, what the eye can see, change in how the people think, meaning you've got systems in place. You are now fighting with what is conditioning our young people, and you're reconditioning them or realigning the systems to condition the young person so that the future person of Soweto, or future adult or future mother of Soweto is operating on a certain software. Because right now we're operating on nonsense softwares, most of us,
But do you think there is actually a chance? Because if you look at that, we always, and I would have to go back to the Bible.
Yeah.
There was the prophet that walked 40 years, 49, or some 40 years looking for the promised land. The only reason that they didn't get to where they were going is because their old had to die out because of the conditioning of their mind. Do you still think there's a chance for the old, I'd say forgotten, not privileged South Africans? Is there a chance for them to actually change how they think and how they operate?
Yeah. You must just understand that the environment is the true master of any mindset.
Yeah.
So the environment will dictate what you achieve, what can manifest from your mind to the real world. Yep. So if the environment, I always say that if your son is a nyaupe boy, addicted to drugs, the best thing to do is to leave him alone and change his environment. He will succumb to the new environment, whether you like it or not. So if there's no drug dealer on site, then where will you smoke nyaupe? Whether you like it or not, it'll be out your system in no time.
Yeah.
So for us to be great at swimming, there's that thing that says black people don't swim. That's why you don't catch them at the Olympics. We don't have swimming pools in the environment.
Right, yeah.
So if you just plug in swimming pools in the environment, give it 5 to 10 years, you'll find someone there going to pick up a bronze, a silver, or gold.
The environment feeds the mind.
100%. The environment is the master of any mindset. If you want to be a damn pilot, best believe you have to make sure that you've got pilots in your environment and you've got an airport as part of your environment, and then you have a good chance of actually becoming a pilot.
You started off as a pilot, no?
Not started off, I am one, yeah.
You're still a pilot?
Yeah, you can't not stop being a
Switch it off, like, you know what, pilot, flight mode.
But his question is important because I'm not...
switch it off like flight mode.
But what you're saying is important because the way it works is you have to be current. So if after my term of being the president of Soweto Parliament, I wanted to just go back and fly, I'd then have to start being current and going to do my medicals and going to do, because it's not, when you have problems up there, it's not a problem, let's stop sign. Like we can't walk out and shout at each other like, what I ever saw. We're all gone.
I know you're gone there. Up there,
so you have to be fit.
You have to be not only fit, but you have to be medically fit, so your eyes have to be a certain standard. Otherwise, now the guys wear glasses. Before it was strict, but now it's different.
Didn't you end up starting your own private jet company?
Yeah, private airline.
How does that work? How do you set up such a thing?
So you just have to have the planes and be part of the market and
so
fly.
How do you get the planes?
I'm just telling you
I would like to know, how did you get the planes?
Yeah, so you don't need to own them, right?
Okay.
So you can literally have it contracted on a lease that, half the cars you see on the road, the people driving them they don't own it.
Yeah, they don't own it.
It belongs to the bank until they finish it off.
That's sad though.
You see, whether it's sad or not, it's one thing we can talk about because there are advantages to that. There are advantages. Sometimes you own things
but that South Africa and debt.
Look, I'd rather have you own things that are proper assets. Like I don't judge you if you don't own your car. But if you're leasing on a property and you're leasing at a price higher than what the bond would be, I think there's a problem with you. But if it's a car, come on, man. Those are depreciating assets.
I think that for me, it's why I said it's sad. It's because someone would go above and beyond to get a car from a bank and still be renting where they stay,
Unfortunately, sure.
You see, so I would rather think that you would want to secure something that you can leave for your kids, or if you want to change it
Sure.
into some sort of business.
Sure.
So is the private airline still working even today?
Look, I can go back to it. I put it on ice because you can't be a part-time president leading people. Let's give everybody an understanding of my position. I'm a president of just under 8 million people that are living in Soweto. Like, it's crazy.
Are you starting your own Orania?
It's there. I'm just leading one. I'm not starting one. I didn't start Soweto.
Before you know it, Soweto will have borders. Zone 6
That's
will
not a
not
bad
be a
idea.
thing. You need a passport to go to Zone 6.
That's
You
not
say it's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea
And
at
then
all.
before you know it, you'll just see Nhlanhla Lux on the notes. Lux notes, luxury notes.
Lux Rand.
Look, but you know, the important thing is we need to create independence. We can't always be depending on systems, on people, on politicians. We need to create a certain level of independence from an economic point of view to a political point of view, socially even. Soweto has a population bigger than most countries around us. Swaziland, Lesotho, Botswana, some of those countries put together don't match Soweto's population. And already you can see that our township economy is actually a massive economy.
Yeah.
It's an excuse for us to even define it as township economy. It's actually a proper economy.
Yeah.
If Soweto was to break away from South Africa, our GDP would be strong enough if we push it well enough to compete with the growth of South Africa. I'm not saying the size of the economy. Look, Botswana is beating us, is giving us a hiding.
Yeah.
Even though their size of economy is small, but the rate of growth in the economy is better than South Africa.
Yeah.
They had the fastest growing economy in the world for a
100%.
while, right?
So we can literally compete with South Africa if we were to break away from South Africa. No problem, anytime. So we need to actually live, what I always advocate for is that we need to live as if we are our own country. Then you stop depending on people.
Yeah.
Then you start thinking. It's like the quicker you move away out of your parents' house, the quicker you become a man.
Yeah, that's right.
You see? So for me, there's just that basic.
What do you think it is that makes Soweto ikaslamakas?
Soweto is and has always been a microcosm of South Africa. What that means is whatever happens in Soweto will replicate throughout South Africa and reach all corners. So let's just look. So I like reasoning in three phases. So it's social, economic, or political. So just socially, from Ojaiva fell. If style South Jaiva, Sitwa Soweto, it hits every corner of South Africa.
That's
like
facts.
you can't believe.
Dog, everyone in Soweto can dance.
Yeah, but yeah.
Pretty much.
Sure.
It's like a sport.
Yeah. So if anything starts in Soweto, like look at Botondada, what they did with material culture,
Right.
and Bukotan. You know, Boton didn't start that. It was existing, bubbling under here and there, but it couldn't replicate itself throughout the country. But as soon as the Soweto boys touched it, it was gone.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I know a lot about piano, but when piano hit Soweto, it was like a springboard for it to like just jump
The Uber
across.
guys, Abatonama Uber.
Yeah,
They're from Soweto.
from
They blew up.
Kilakau.
Bobo Kilakau, Bompurampura. So Soweto has that mystical energy that is already existing, and only those who are born in the space and live long enough in the space know how to connect with the mystical energy that knows how to influence the world. Not even just South Africa, the whole world.
Yeah.
So that's what makes Soweto Kaslamakas, because
How did the idea of
if we
Soweto
go
come about? Though? Like I want to know.
Southwest.
yeah, it's
Southwest
actually
Township.
Afrikaans, the apartheid regime that created Soweto. So the working class, Soweto is a place of where the working class literally resides. Because if you look at the infrastructure of Soweto and study the infrastructure, you'll understand the plan. We've got one railway that cuts throughout Soweto and touches most hostels and old communities like Mirolands will have a train station. So the working class would then settle in Soweto or forcefully settled in Soweto, and they would be taken to go work in the city, and then the train would bring them back. So it was just a Land Areas Act of 1958, or was, I think, yes, discussed in 1958, but passed in 1959. That said, an effect and was actually took momentum in 1960 to separate people and literally have certain areas dedicated to certain races. But the white people of the time, or Afrikaans people rather, were deliberate in their actions and very intelligent. They just didn't separate people from area to area. They placed people to suit the economic infrastructure of the country at the time. And Soweto was just exactly that. If you look at Soweto, it's built in the southwest of the south of Johannesburg, literally in line with the mining belt. So we're there to literally service the mining economy alongside other emerging economies, such as perhaps the JSE that was emerging at the time and whatever else that was emerging in the central business district of Johannesburg. So that is the placement of Soweto. But in the new regime, then the new regime doesn't have a plan for Soweto. It's just an area for a common South African, because it's not a black area anymore. We passed that stage. So we then struggle because the infrastructure development was never set to be for the best. So it was never supposed to be designed for the best people.
Or even the best outcome.
Or even the best outcome. You look at the drainage system, which a lot of people don't look at. It's not suitable for the population that we currently have in Soweto. And that's why you'll have a lot of politicians and government at times lying about the true reflection of the population of Soweto. Because if you be honest about it and you say that there's 8 million people in Soweto, it's easy for opposition parties and the whole world to say, how does one major hospital service 8 million people? Their population is nearly 4 times the size of Botswana. And Botswana alone, with 2 million people, 2+ million people, have various hospitals.
Yeah.
So Soweto has Bara, really, Chris Hani Hospital, and various clinics around it. So the development wouldn't match the truth. That's why it's half the time it's just lies and nonsense that we are all fed and that's why I pity people who think that they are smart and they are informed. Half the time you're informed with nonsense. So
because
what smart are you?
Book knowledge doesn't really apply in the streets.
I was actually telling one of my sisters, young sisters, that giving her my definition for someone that's intelligent. Intelligent is not my life, right?
Yeah.
So I don't care who thinks what. I'm telling you my definition. Intelligence, when you're intelligent, it's not the amount of knowledge you have. You can read 1,000 books. For me, that makes you informed. It doesn't make you intelligent.
That's true.
Intelligence is the application of the information you've acquired into real life. If you can apply that information and you can apply it for proper progress that's for you and others, for me, you are intelligent. It's not just a matter of you saying, I've read 20,000 books. So what if you read books? It doesn't make you intelligent by any means. And that's my view.
I think the most intelligent people that we always keep on forgetting that they're intelligent is criminals. I mean, like the mere fact they can bypass the system.
Sure.
And the problem is they're applying it in the wrong way, you know. So yeah.
I wanted to ask him though, are you a criminal?
No, not by any means. I mean, if I break the law, I definitely am a criminal. Yeah. So I'm not a criminal in the sense that I wake up and do crime. But I'm sure there's some things that I can do that are wrong that can justify that I'm a criminal. Yeah. Because criminality is you not adhering to the law. And none, there's some movie, I just forgot the movies. The guys will say, if you follow a nun for an hour driving, easily they'll break the law at some point. 60, drive at 65 instead of 60. That's not you respecting
scrutinizing people.
100%. So I can sit here and say I'm not a criminal. And tomorrow someone says, but you've had a traffic fine before.
That's what I was about to say, that you actually got arrested though.
Yeah, that doesn't prove you're a criminal.
So why did you get arrested? What were the charges?
The charges are that I stole 300 Rand from a drug dealer's house. And
what?
300 Rand?
And it's another day. Oh yeah.
Is this the recent arrest? I'm talking about the one there at Kaya where they came.
Yes, when I got arrested, 36 cars.
I'm talking about that rifles. One. Yeah. What is going on there, bro?
It's the same charge.
The same thing.
300 Rand charge. And the guy says, I stole a TV and a DVD. Who has a DVD in 2022? But anyway.
But what do they mean by 300K?
Not 300K.
300
Rand.
They brought those guns and cars for 200
like
Rand.
I'm that guy that got arrested for apparently stealing 300 Rand from a drug dealer's house. I think it was over exaggerated because the guy the drug dealer happens to be a secretary of the EFF in the on the ground in the ward.
How?
So that's why the EFF spokesperson went there saying, "Hey, toy soldier, hey, what, you must catch him," and again being reacting, coming to the communities, not understanding what's what. It was like a premature ejaculation for me. What happened to the EFF? They were quick to jump and support their secretary without proper investigations, and when they later realized that this punk ass is actually killing the community, they then pull back, because I actually want them to continue supporting the drug dealer in my case, because they were there to make sure that the case is opened with their spokesperson, national spokesperson, coming down
For
into the
300
ground to support a drug dealer, at least an alleged drug dealer by the community, not myself. It shows you what political leaders
What
you have in your
happened?
country.
Did you go to his house? Were you fetching your money? What was going on?
Let me tell you. So the community in the area reached out to us and said, listen, there's a drug dealer that's been operating here and the cops seem compromised because the vans come and nothing happens. But that's a story about
that's South
our time.
Africa
That's
for
South
us.
Africa. So we then say, it's fine. We will set up a proper operation. And what that means is register an operation and partner with the law, because we always do, with law enforcement. SAPS will be there, Metro Police will be there, and then we'll go with the community to confront this problem, because people are crying about the fact that leaders are not confronting the problems that are existing. Instead, they're tiptoeing around them and talking about it, but no action is taken.
Walking on
so we're
eggshells.
different. We live amongst the communities. When there's load shedding for the people, I'm also
affected.
I don't live in Hyde Park or Sandton. So when people say there's a drug dealer there, my responsibility was exactly that, to organize, and we went there with the cops. When I entered, I had cops around me, and the guy came and opened, and we spoke to him, and then 2 days later, I hear the EFF national spokesperson and the office has released a statement. This is Nhlanhla Lux stole it from the. So listen,
Put 300 in that statement.
yeah, bro. There's
Wow.
300 rand that I stole apparently, and a TV and a DVD. And
But what did you guys do when you got there, though, with the cops? Like, what exactly happened? Did you go into his place? Like, what happened?
So when I got there, the people were already there. I was walking with the cops. You know what's nice about this? Newsroom was there, bro. My camera, our internal cameras were there. So so when we all approached the house, he ran, but the community found him and brought him back, and then he opened his own door, and then we went in, and then we searched the place. But because he ran, he knows why he ran. So he cleared the house.
Yeah.
Right. So when he came back, he opened to talk to him. I even come out. There's nothing in this house. I'm the one reporting to the media, to everybody. Guys, there's nothing in this house. Whether this guy knew that we're coming because we're coming in large numbers is one thing. But all I'm saying is, at least you see that the problems you raised, we confronted them with the police, whatever, and when we left. But talking about the legal side of this case, if indeed I stole a flat screen or a TV and a DVD and whatever else and 300 rand with the police, that means in that moment, the police are accessories to the crime. That means that this case must develop in such a way where we see all police who were present being arrested, like I was arrested. And we must see Metro Police get arrested, like I was arrested. So again, you're seeing politics do its thing.
So how powerful is the EFF in this situation for them to call for your arrest and it actually happens?
Bro, I can call for your arrest right now over WhatsApp. I can sit here and you see it was unplanned. I can literally send someone a message and say that I need you to come and arrest this guy. I'll give you reasons later. Or maybe if it's cops that do their job properly, I can say that where I am, I see these guys are all armed. And when you get there, you get arrested. It's simple. Or if a girl says you raped her, the first thing to do is to arrest you.
But I mean, if you were
Being
there
arrested-
with cops, then
Yeah, but
the cops should be able to speak on your behalf that, yo, this is what happened exactly.
if I did what?
If you were there with the cops.
That time will come though. Because so someone can say that you raped them at this time on this day. And then you can say, but I was interviewing Lux. And then I can come with everybody that's around. But we did an interview and here's the interview.
Yeah.
And they can even trace my phone, because these days they can trace your movement using your phone. It's one of the things they do. They can trace my phone and everybody else's phone. My phone was in same proximity or close proximity to your phone for the last 2 hours or whatever, however long we take here. And then you're off the hook. But being arrested, being cuffed, it doesn't mean that you're a criminal. It's just part of the.
It's a scare tactic.
It's not just a scare tactic. It's just part of the
Illusion.
laws and the procedures of how things work. If someone opens a case against you, the police need to go arrest you, bring you in, so that you can face. You can have your day in court.
Yeah.
And then from there you proceed with the courts or your case ends. But anybody can get arrested. I can go open a case tonight for Julius Malema. He must get arrested within a certain time. It's just how the law works. It doesn't mean that he's a criminal. You see? So that's why.
But the problem is they're using this arrest thing willy-nilly, and I feel like it's used as a
but that
media.
does it.
Yeah, it's a media tactic.
But that does it.
Yeah, using it as a media tactic to say, okay, fine. If we arrest him on TV, then everyone else's perception of him changes.
That's what they're trying to do, because they realize that, these politicians are not changing the education system. They don't want you to be completely empowered, because you might have serious independent thinking that even works against them. So they want to leave our people uneducated, because when you're uneducated, you operate from an emotional point of view. So they want the people in large numbers to remain emotional, because when you're emotional, you're literally a cousin to being irrational, because emotional is not within your normal lines.
It's about how you feel.
It's about how you feel. You can kill someone because you were just emotional and you didn't mean it, type of thing. So they would rather have our people super uneducated, therefore super emotional, so that they can control them. There's no reason why you must get someone's vote because you're reminding them that white people are this, or Indians are that, or colours are that. There's no reason. If I want you to vote for me, I must give you facts of what I've done, and I must give you plans of what I can do. And based on what the plans I'm giving you, when you checks and balance with what I've done, you can see it's possible. So if I say to you, listen, I'll pick you up in a helicopter, and you've got background that I actually am from that world, then the plan to pick you up is more realistic than if someone that you know that this nigga, I've never even seen this nigga driving, and you say pick me up in a helicopter. Maybe he's being honest, but it's not easy for you to accept his plan or proposal simply because he doesn't even
can't back it up.
Yeah, you can't back it up, at least in your experience of him.
So what are EFF's dealings with the drug dealers? Because it looks like you guys are on two different ends of the spectrum. Like they want the unity of Africans and everything, and open borders and all of this stuff. And obviously you are trying to clean up.
Do you think the EFF really wants the opening of the borders? Do you think that's what they really want? Or do you think that they are just saying it because they know that the people that they are opposing will not do it, so they need the relevance one way or another? What do you think is happening? I'm not saying that's what's happening.
But
I'm just
that's
saying
the message that he's been speaking from day one.
Okay, cool. Let's open the borders. Let's say we do what Julius Malema wants us to do. Then what? The borders are not open, but you're seeing the mess that's going on. What worse if the borders are open? Which I said it perfectly the other day in terms of giving an example. If you are for borders being open and being broken down, let's see you breaking down your own walls and electric fences and letting go of your blue lights. These people, it's easy for them to talk. Our people get raped every day by undocumented people. They get killed every day by undocumented people. Listen, I got one of my guys that we buried, and it was public news, got shot and killed by undocumented people. Go chicken farm. And we're still here. And you have a politician saying that they are for the foreigner more than they're for the South African. Who votes for them? The South African or the foreigner?
But do you think that they are in business with the drug dealers themselves?
They get sponsored by the nonsense narratives that they're pushing. Listen, there is no reason in this world that I would advocate for a foreigner over a South African first.
Unless you are in business with them.
Unless that is benefiting me somehow. You see? Let me ask you a question, and I don't want this to seem as if we're now attacking the EFF, right? Any political party. Let's open the conversation a bit. Let's say in the last 10 years of you joining the political party, what has the political party done for you? I can wait till the sun rises.
Nothing.
No one can tell me what their opposition or whatever political party, let's say DA or ANC or EFF, but because your question is EFF based, if it turned 9 recently, and shout out to them for having a movement that lasts 9 years and moving forward. Well done. They started as young people. That's where I value them. The young people did the most for other young people in the country. But now, talk about it today. When you joined the EFF 9 years ago when it started, up until today, has your life improved?
Not at all. If your life has improved, it's because of your own hard work.
So what are you doing? Singing political songs instead of solving community problems? Because your daughter, most of us here, most black people, majority black people, we all have a cousin who's dribbling or dabbling in nyaupe, a drug addict, who's a drug addict, and it's a problem.
Yeah.
But when have you seen a politician talking about drugs? So when are they maybe benefiting from it? I'm saying, are they maybe? Because the number one pandemic greater than this nonsense we just invested in called COVID is drugs. Drugs are the number one killer of the youth and of the future of South Africa. But there is no deliberate, intentional program to stop drug dealers and advance our kids from getting rehabilitated from the drugs themselves.
They're in on it.
But my question is, as South Africa has its own problems internally, you know. When we look externally as the reasons why the problems are there, it becomes an issue because you can't solve a leaking bucket by mopping the water. You need to deal with the hole, you know. So what I see is there's a constant image or portrait of what are foreigners doing in the country. We all know that not everyone sells drugs is a foreigner, right?
Right.
We all know not everyone that commits a crime is a foreigner. Why specifically go for that? And because it seems like you're portraying it in that way that everything wrong in South Africa is because of a foreigner.
Yeah. So I don't think that's a true reflection of what I stand for and what I've always said.
Yeah.
If anyone can play a video where I said all foreigners must leave, or all foreigners have a problem, I will give you 1,000 rand for each video.
You said undocumented.
I always stress undocumented because by virtue of you being undocumented, it means that you're automatically part of the group that is undermining the country's laws. South Africans have to adhere to the laws.
Yeah.
So there's no one who must come outside South Africa and disrespect these laws. You and I and everybody else have a driver's license. Forget your birth certificate, your ID book. I'm saying your driver's license.
Yeah.
So if you're undocumented, that means you can't even have a driver's license, but they drive around. So it becomes a ripple effect of undermining the law. Because if you're undocumented, every time you move, you're prone to breaking the law. Because at some point you must drive.
Yes.
So how do you drive if you don't have a license?
By you just existing, you're already breaking the law.
At some point, we can bump into each other. I'm not saying you breaking into my house. And then my insurance wants me to give them your details so that things can go, but you don't have. So you are messing up with a lot of things that matter by virtue of being undocumented. But look, let's just keep it basic.
Yeah.
If you are undocumented in the country, look at the restaurant space. We've got a lot of undocumented people in the restaurant space.
Yeah.
Right? And I can give you many reasons why. But them being undocumented, that means that the restaurant owner can dictate how they pay them. It's not the law that guides their payment because there's a minimum wage in our labor law. So you just mess up the ecosystem of things because you are here. And look, I'm going to try maybe come up with a practical example. The ecosystem in the Kruger National Park, there's an ecosystem there.
Yeah.
So let's add a foreign agent, a new animal that's not part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I want you to see how everything will restructure itself because this one thing is messing everything up. I'm going to let's speak about things that people understand. The hospitals.
Yeah.
The one time I was at Tembisa Hospital. My dad had to be transferred from one. He's dead now. He passed away. But we had to transfer him from one hospital to another because there were no beds. And when you interrogate, majority of the beds are occupied by undocumented people.
Is that a fact?
Damn.
It's a big fact. No, it's even on the news. Just Google it.
Yeah.
Tembisa Hospital made big articles after it was found to have majority of the beds occupied by undocumented people.
But don't you think it's in the hospital's issue because they should have probably look into if they're documented or not.
No, it's not. It's immoral for that industry to profile you. If
They already profile you according to how much you have.
No, but that's
they ask
later.
you medical aid.
That's later.
All those kind of stuff.
So if you walk in passed out because you're in a car accident,
Yeah.
their job is to handle.
Yeah.
So these people know how the system works. So they'll walk in with their eyes closed, and you can't even talk to them. But your responsibility, you took an oath to say that whoever walks through these doors who needs medical help will receive medical help.
But don't you think it's way better if the system
Yeah.
is working in the advancement of the nation? So if you need to do something, first thing you need to check is documentation, right?
Like imagine a person comes here bleeding.
No, listen to me. Listen
And
to
they're
me.
like
Listen
in a
to me.
wheelchair.
Listen to me. If the system works in that way, then it's easy way to filter out, right?
Yeah.
But if already the system enables it, then is it only the problem of the foreign person which is laying on that bed, or already the hospital that allows it to happen, right? The undocumented person. That's the question that I'm imposing.
So the system, so the problem is not in that moment. The problem is when people cross the border undocumented.
Yeah.
That's as a ripple effect, it leads us to that moment.
Yeah.
So that moment is a symptom. It's not the real effect. So there's nothing to fix in that moment. The hospital must continue to help whoever needs help. We can never ever say that, no, ask them first. It's immoral.
Then why isn't your operation at the border gate?
But we've been to the borders.
No, I mean, like, why is it not started there at the root of the problem?
So let me tell you what people, let's educate people now.
Yeah.
Every operation that I've ever led had one primary goal. And that goal was to put pressure on government for government to do its job.
Yeah.
Because I'm not about to do government's job. I'm not about to go around arresting every drug dealer. We need to put so much pressure for these people to work. We have a responsibility of being active citizens that to complement our government and the law enforcement. They can't do this job alone. A quick example is the guy that invented the traffic light. I keep saying this. He said, red, we must stop. But he did the most. He thought of it. He created the traffic light. He put it up there, but he can't come and stop my car. I must now do my part and stop when it's red. He doesn't stop for me. I stop. You can't be in every car stopping when it's red. So we also need to play our part in making sure that we enforce some of the policies that government puts in place. We even become the referee empire or the people who take pride in their country and remind everyone else participating in our space that we have laws. Just adhere to the laws. There's nothing wrong. Just adhere to the laws. You would never ever walk in Lesotho how the guys from Lesotho walk in this country. You'd never ever move in Zimbabwe how the Zimbabweans move in our country.
Yeah.
You'll never go to the CBD at night with your phone on and go to get a takeaway. You're lying.
Yeah.
Half the time, I mean, I can give you stats. This is not my opinion.
Yeah.
John Foster, that where I was kept, majority of the people that get arrested are foreign. And then when you look at it, the majority of those foreigners are undocumented.
And they're arrested because they're undocumented?
No, for other things. And when they get there, it's undocumented. So today you can be Peter, tomorrow you can be Paul. But me, I'm Lux. If through and through. So if there's a problem, my prince, I can be held accountable.
Yeah.
But an undocumented person can kill you, hijack you, rape, and do whatever. We just don't know who it is. And if we do catch him, because we're already living in a corrupt system and they're able to have 10,000 Rand that slips into someone's pocket, they're out. And then their profile changes from Peter to Paul. Then what do we do?
Because I wanted to ask, when you said that if majority of them, like the people who were arrested at John Foster, were undocumented.
Sure.
Don't you get deported when you get arrested?
The system is too corrupt, my brother. It's too corrupt. They go to a place called Lindela, which is like our refugee camp. From there, they are processed and supposed to be deported. But it doesn't work that way. They just get recycled through corruption, through the bad policies that we've put in place that we can't amend now because it's too late, and unless we literally win an outright majority to change the constitution so some things can be done. So
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we care too much with what the international community says. Human Rights Commission, tell them that Nhlanhla Lux says they can go eat a D. All of
So,
them.
so what's
Wait,
your...
I just wanted to say something. So, when you think about it right now, do you think that, okay, we get rid of all the undocumented foreigners? Do you think it will end there firstly? Because we know right now, people are not so happy with your messaging right now because they believe that it's changed from the first time we spoke.
Sure.
Because they're under the assumption when you were speaking the first time that you meant all foreigners, right? And then that assumption, that's not what you said. And right now they're under the assumption that you're saying only undocumented foreigners. So my question is, do you believe that if all of the foreigners or undocumented foreigners go, that South Africa will be in a better position?
So it's never about if all the foreigners that are undocumented go, will be in a better position. It's always about measure. Yeah. If we have enough measure to have control over our own country, we'll always be in a better position. You'll never stop the crime, but you can manage the crime.
Yeah.
You can have if your grip is the tightest grip compared to the criminals, then you're in a better position. There's no country in the world without crime or corruption or whatever, but they're managing it better than what the criminals are. So if we, like right now, we need to own up to the fact that the criminals are outsmarting our systems. You see, so we have a problem. We need to regain the confidence and the grip over crime. We don't have that right now. You see, so go back to the undocumented foreigners. There's no country that can ever have 100% control over that problem. Even America, with so much resources, has that problem. But you need to have systems in place to ensure that you do not get undermined by or outclassed by such things. Example, undocumented foreigners. Because then your hospitals suffer, your schools suffer. Do you know that the schools in South Africa where South Africans were rejected, there's no space, but foreigners are there in numbers, regardless of whether they're undocumented or not? Just think of the future of this country. The schools took the clients that pay on the spot, and the foreigners happen to have the money on the spot, but the South Africans don't. So we've got South Africans that are some kids that are not going to school right now because the only school they could go to within their pockets reach is they don't have space in it.
Mind you, that
can't be right.
A lot of foreigners which are in the country are here for greener pastures. So it technically, it makes it for me. It says that a lot of them are as poor as South Africans.
Bro, that's an excuse.
You get what I mean?
I'm in your house, and if right now you go back to your house and you find strangers in your house chilling, watching TV, and you look around and some are cooking, and it's the toilet flushes, and like, what the hell? Who are you guys? No, we just bypasses. Where I live is tough, so we're here for greener pastures. You're like, oh yeah, high five. So what's your name? Can never. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but then
exponentially,
they can't. When you say that they're paying and all, a lot of them can't even pay themselves. That's why a lot of them are huddled up in like town CBD. It's not by choice.
But
they can't afford.
They're making their own problems ours.
Bro. No, but I'm just saying they can't afford to be staying in Sandton. It's a few which can.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? The ones in the club, the ones in the what kind of business, you know? You get what I mean?
So I'm just saying to you that it doesn't matter the reason.
Yeah.
What's wrong is wrong. If I start raping babies today and I tell you that it's because I was raped when I was 12 years old, are you going to now feel sorry for me? What I'm doing is wrong. Just address it. There's a law.
So by them living in the country, it's wrong. Living in the country.
No, by
Without
them being
getting
undocumented.
Okay, let's
documents.
But I'm talking about the school situation. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but they are undocumented.
If they're documented,
if
there's
they're
no problem,
documented,
bro. There's no problem.
A lot of them can't even get,
No,
you
look,
can't even get, you can't technically, rightfully, you can't be in a system of school or education or institution without documents. Right?
That's true.
No. I can give you a long list.
Rightfully, I'm saying.
Okay, rightfully.
Yeah,
okay,
you can't.
Cool. Yeah.
So the question is, aren't we meant to deal with the problem, which is allowing people without the document to be in this institution?
That's us attempting to deal with the symptom yet again. It's the same thing as the hospitals. Whenever you take action around the situation, when it's at school level, you can't deny a young person education.
But You can.
No, but it's not moral. It doesn't make sense.
I understand you say moral and all that, but then when you paint the blanket, don't you think when you talk to the nation, you might be talking to Soweto.
Sure.
Your videos don't stop in Soweto.
Sure.
It's like, technically when somebody's watching a video, it doesn't just say, because you're not in Soweto, you can't watch it.
Sure.
You're speaking to everyone. And a lot of the times, leaders do not understand the power they have. So when they speak out of emotion, a lot of the times, it causes a riot, it causes looting, it causes all those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We've seen it time
Mine is
after
the opposite
time.
though.
Right.
It stops the looting.
Yeah,
it stops the riot.
Yeah, because
all right, cool.
So when they talk like that, they don't realize the power that they're speaking, because you talking to a group that
I actually agree with you.
Hasn't been educated.
It's like when Julius said to the foreigners that you must find creative ways of coming to the country, and they actually did.
Think about it. Hear that? You're talking outright.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
What's going on?
Let me answer it. Who's that?
Who's that?
Hold on. Yeah.
Commander Money.
That's not.
Commander Money.
Yes, morning, Commander.
How are you?
This man,
Eh?
this man, he allows the electricity to teach you, and he doesn't say anything.
Is he watching us or what?
I don't know.
What did he say?
He says something about electricity. No, this is Nhlanhla Lux, brother.
I know, dog.
Yeah.
I'm just complaining about this little guy in my house now. He allows the electricity.
That's not for you. He doesn't even
know.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Let's
know
talk about his
anything
electricity.
Not a look.
He's one of a kind.
He's
He's one of
yeah,
a kind.
you know,
he never says what's up or anything. He
he's
just gets straight into
the point. And that's what I actually love about this
Yeah.
guy. He doesn't buy a face.
Oh,
I
are
don't.
you guys actually recording like
We're actually recording right now. I just said, let me answer. And then you just went straight into it, complaining. Look, he doesn't care. He just goes, yeah? Yeah.
Remember when the bullets came raining down on you guys?
Oh, yes. I was actually telling them now.
And then I said, I have to take my wife to a movie.
Sure.
Harry, my wife.
I'm really trying to set things up here. I can't be with you guys. I have to take my wife to a movie.
Sure.
And then when I leave the movie, I switch on my phone and then I can see on the ENC for we lost the soldier.
Sure.
And then I stress to her the seriousness and the importance of, what the mission is. Because at the end of the day, whether we build a wall, a fence, whether, we breed crocodiles and flood them into that river, it's not going to stop people who are desperate from crossing the river.
Sure.
The economic conditions
Sure.
are not prevailing, that at least keep them in their home country, because I don't think people want to leave their homes.
Sure.
So what we now need to push for is to say, let us help these people change that government. Because obviously, a whole lot of people are going home. Let us also be the ones that are helping them go home. If you're saying, okay, fine, you guys need packages for transport or whatever, something to at least help you start for the first 3 months back there. You know what I mean?
No, spot on, bro. No, take it to man.
In the elections, because that's the most important thing. You know what I mean? We need to give the youth of Zimbabwe hope that if they do something in the elections and they show that they want electoral reform, change can be brought about. The rest of the world can support them.
I agree, bro. I agree. Yeah. So let's get on. I'm going to get on with it, but we'll give you a call after the show.
That's not easy with them.
Nice one. Sure.
Okay, so here's my question, right?
Did we finish what we're saying?
No.
Let me just ask this, because it's related to all of that.
Oh, okay.
What's your response to people that say you only target poor Black Africans?
Look.
Because they say that a lot of people are foreigners from all over the world.
Yeah, fair
whether
enough.
it's Arab people, whether it's white people,
Fair
whether
enough.
it's,
So you must be careful of who's saying it. If you check who's saying what, it'll give you better background of why they're saying that or why they're questioning that.
Yeah.
In Soweto, I do not have other people they want me to fight. The last time saying, why don't you fight fight against farm owners and fight for the land? There's no farms in Soweto. I fight things that are immediate to my community and help people solve their problems that are immediate to them. We should all just make sure that even those who claiming to have national agendas, we can't belittle their cause and fight. If some politicians are fighting for the land, let them fight for the land. Let's support them. Let them tell us where they need our help. We'll give them the help. But they mustn't come here and tell us how to fight our fight. I am fighting the drug dealer for real. I'm being shot by illegal, undocumented people for real. I bury my people for real. Which political leader has been buried or their friends buried because of they were fighting for people's rights? Which one? Do you know any in your lifetime, bro?
Nah.
You don't know any. If I ask both of you, what are the top 3 problems in your life? Don't answer them. Don't answer them right now. But when you live amongst each other, let's say one of them is electricity or lack of electricity in the community. We fight for that because you can't live without it. We live in the 4th industrial revolution right now. Everything operates on electricity. The schools, your assignments, submit, traffic lights, everything. So which politician have you seen on the ground coming and saying that we're going to fight? Don't tell me about a march to ESCOM. That's you making noise. You're singing around the problem. Oliver Tambo. You're singing around the problem. The problem must be solved. And then you go home to your Sentin and Hyde Park where you've got 24-hour security and where you've got generators and what's the other ones? UPS systems and all that.
Solar panels and
Solar
everything.
panels and your kids. And your kids go to schools that have back generators to supplement the power if they need power. So we don't have the same problems with these politicians. That's why I don't believe in them. They'll make noise. This one is this one. Where were they? Let's speak about what we all know. Where were they during the looting? In their homes, flipping CNN.
They were scared.
They were scared.
Yeah.
We took the bullets, bro. We got shot at heavy on the first and second night until South African National Defence Force came. Then that's when we started relaxing because then they also realized we just reinforced our end. We got shot at Silly. We recovered saves, we recovered looting material like you can't believe.
Be honest though, that was your moment to sort of get on the map, because that's when I found out about you. I was like, who's this guy? He's serious,
That's unfortunate on your end. Go ask the ones that people that know.
Obviously, there's other. I might be uneducated in this particular thing, but what I'm saying is that, do you think you capitalized off that moment?
No ways, capitalized, bullets flying. This is not when you go to the toilet and I talk to your hand. Capitalizing. What? Are you mad? Capitalizing with AK-47 bullets flying in your direction. There's no capitalizing, nothing.
Can I ask? Sorry.
Yeah.
Where are these bullets coming from?
They're coming from the people that are trying to loot the malls. Let me tell you what they're looting. They're looting. Maponya Mall is the biggest. It's got all the banks. So during the looting, something that people don't know, the looting was so organized. The people that break the locks are not the people that run into Pick and Pay.
Yeah.
The community, because it's desperate and already poor, they run to get food. But the real looting is happening with the banks. They're hitting the banks and dragging the safes out, and they've got proper explosives. And that was a trend. When they go into a shop, they go for the safe. While the community goes for the bread. You see, or the maize meal or the eggs. No, they're not there for that. So looting at levels.
Yeah, all you gotta do is just hype up the people.
Yeah, and looting at levels.
They'll open the path for you.
So if you must understand that if you're going to looting, to loot a certain place, and you've got R5s and R4s and AK-47s, you're not the guy that's taking the bread or the maize meal.
Yeah, no.
You're actually there on a deeper mission.
Right.
The guy that wants to take the maize meal comes in with both hands free so that they can take as much as possible.
Right.
It's not rocket science. So the people that are shooting at us, bro, are the ones that wanted those ATMs that we're defending. Because Maponya was the big score. Other malls are too small. They have two ATMs at best. Maponya has every bank you can think of. So when they're all outside. So it was the easiest score. That's why I think it was kept for last, because it was like the Shelby GT500 in that movie Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
You steal that one last. So we knew that, yes, Jabulani Mall is down, Protea Mall is down, Dobsonville Mall is down. They're definitely coming for the big elephant. And then we just made the call. We didn't send media invites for newsroom to come and cover us. It just made the news. So we can't say I capitalized on it.
Okay, I didn't know that part.
Half of the things that happened that you guys were consuming on TV, I didn't even think of in that moment. It was all security, because seeing people getting shot and whatever, you don't care who's saying what. You literally dive into your instincts of staying alive, number one, and making sure that you continue the mission of protecting the mall, number two. So that's what it is.
Tell me this. The conversation was around you. Some people just felt like, okay, you're protecting the white man's property, and you're raiding fellow Africans' shops, because they felt like you are cleaning up the shops and areas like that in order to put spaza shops which are owned by white people, and through you that they can capitalize through the township economy. That's what people felt like. Is there any truth to that?
No, I don't even understand that statement you are saying. Like,
so, for example, you protect them all, right?
I'm not really...
You protect them all, right?
Yeah. I'm protecting them all, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Owned by a white person, right?
Can any of us here quantify that? Or are we saying what we heard? Okay,
this is just what people are saying.
Yeah, and I'm not attacking you. I'm saying, because they're also listening, these people.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm not saying here.
Yeah.
Who has ever proved if Maponya Mall is owned by white people or not? We are the most gullible nation because we are an uneducated nation. Whatever they say goes. So who said Richard Maponya's hard work is not behind that mall? I'm going to ask you a question.
But also the stores inside there are not, I don't think 100% are owned by black people.
There's nothing. We can't have a mall that has stores that are 100% black owned. What are we producing as black people? Let's be honest. What clothing are we going to be buying? What food?
Yeah.
Who owns Unilever? Which black people own products that can sustain us from food security point of view? We have to buy from the Unilever. They produce it.
Yeah. Right.
So we're going to complain forever unless we do something about it. So if you ask us, the young people, what we're protecting the legacy of Richard Maponya. If you don't know Richard Maponya, you have a problem, but maybe it's an opportunity. Let me school you a bit. Richard Maponya is that entrepreneur during the apartheid system who was able to make money to fund the liberation that you enjoy today. You see? So Richard Maponya did things that were out of the norm in terms of economic activity. Richard Maponya owned a horse before we all interacted
knew
with
how
Durban
to spell
July.
horse.
Oh, I'm saying Durban July. The thing we are crazy about.
Yeah.
Richard's horse was running in that thing before it was a thing. But he's a black guy. Do we celebrate him? No. But what do we then say? We must find reason to find association with white people and crush him. Hey, man, what are you saying? Richard's horse back in the day was called another color. Not because he was black, but for the young people listening, because another color, if you take the first letters, it's ANC. So he was pushing big political moves using business to unlock people's minds. Damn, bro.
Yeah.
We don't celebrate the man. What do we then do? Fast forward 2021, we want to loot his mall. Oh, dog. Because we heard apparently it's even white people that own it. Listen, if I own a piece of land as big as Maponya Mall's piece of land, and I don't have the 500 million or billion rands needed for me to build a mall. I'm not talking about people just building because they can. Proper within the boundaries of the law, making sure that the structures are, they've got inspectors that come and do everything above board so that insurance can come and also insure the mall. If I don't have the billion and I take it out to everybody to say that, listen, guys, I've got the land. I'm looking for investors. Let's build them all together. We go 51-49. I take the majority share.
Yeah.
And then let's say Investec comes as a white or some people say it's a Jewish banker. Let's say they come. Or maybe people from the Jewish community. Let's say they come and say, no, Lux, we have that money. Because that business makes sense. We know it. We've been doing it in this province, that province. Let's go. And then I build a mall for my people. We never had a mall.
Yeah.
A mall that competes with other malls in the continent. With a proper legacy from
In the hood.
Come on, man. And then people then get their hands on information that Jewish people helped me build the mall.
Yeah.
Now I was used. I'm just a front for Jewish people, really?
And that's the
even if
narrative
said
that they're always running
Even they
with.
said 80-20. And it's my land again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I decided to say, yes, I want this 20% deal.
Right.
Because I'd rather have 20% of 40 billion than have 100% of nothing.
Yeah.
And then you guys say, the whites own 80% of this thing. Bro, I made it possible for you to... Listen, let me show you what's happening now. Ripple effect. We're about to start a motorsport development track in Soweto.
Nice.
Right now.
Yeah.
The go-karts are there. We're building the track. The track is going to come.
Yeah.
The kids that are participating in the Soweto League, the first and second position, participate in the provincial league. They make it right there. They're in the national league. They make it right there. You must just actually investigate. They're now international league. They're participating with
Grand Prix and everything.
the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So in a space of 20 years, we can literally produce the next Hamilton. But we need the infrastructure for that to happen. We need to change the environment for the mindset to be achieved. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So where my dream to be possible, people will say, I like Slaspan, big ups. What? Motorsport development. Because yes, we can't only have soccer fields in the township. We need to change the face of the township. SSS, Soweto Skateboard Society is there. It's changing
And
the
changing
culture and the face of the township.
Also the heroes of the township. Because
100%.
now they no more look only to soccer players and
100%.
musicians, drug dealers or musician dancers.
You've got it.
Yeah.
You've got it. So for me, I want you to understand that for me to even have the ability to think of this big move and even execute this big move and even realize the dream and seeing young kids running around in go-karts and becoming emotional about that, somebody had to build the damn mall. The same person that I'm speaking about called Richard Maponya.
Wow.
I hear you.
That's amazing.
Liberty.
Yeah.
Sandton City was built within a lifetime. Do you know that? It's not 500 years old. It was a farm not so long ago.
Yeah.
Let me speak about an example that young people will understand better. Waterfall was built just now. I have memory of passing Waterfall and
it was
when it was
just
just
a farm.
far open space. So why is it hard to transform ourselves and our communities if people can do it within a lifetime? So there's nothing that's stopping us. to
Now
do
they're
this in a
building
lifetime.
smart cities
Bro,
and everything. That side.
Have you ever seen a crane in Soweto? No. But in developed places,
Yeah,
Sandton is
yo.
developed, but there's a crane
crane,
today.
yeah,
They're
every
still
day.
developing something today.
That is so true.
So we just lazy, bro. We just lazy in our thinking.
There's no
We're just
towers in
lazy in
townships.
holding the government accountable, bro.
Yeah.
And that makes me angry because we are now becoming products of the real apartheid system. And we didn't go through it, bro. Only our parents went through it.
Right.
We went through a better time. And we need to make sure that we use the experiences that people fought for us to even have and change the face of the townships and whatever else. The people that are judging me and you and trying to cancel you, they come from a Benny and Betty education system. You did maths, you did bot maths, you did Pythagoras, damn it. That was reserved, that was education reserved for the white people.
Right.
I'm not stretching it. I'm just giving you loose end examples.
Yeah.
Because your minds are bigger. Like even with you guys, don't even be limited to this damn podcast alone.
Yeah.
Your brain is vibrating and screaming, free me. You haven't arrived. You trust me, you haven't arrived. You guys can be billionaires. Like I even told McG the other time on this show that we're supposed to come together and push you to be millionaires. This show supposed to be hitting, your platform supposed to be hitting how many, what's the population of this country?
60
65?
something.
Yeah. That's also a
60
lie
something.
to suit to what the
Yeah,
rate
the
of our
last time I
development.
checked, it was like 2014 and it said
Yeah,
58 million.
Yes, but now it's about 65 million. But that's also a lie. It's not accurate. But
That census thing was capped.
come on, man.
You
But
remember census? Did they count you?
do you remember being counted?
I remember because they put
Yeah.
some barcode on our door or some shit like that.
Bruh, they came and they just asked, and like they asked about me. They didn't even ask like detailed questions because I remember them
Sure.
doing a census at my parents' place. But now here in town in Jersey,
Sure.
CBD, they didn't even ask, bro. And my building is perfect example of what Nhlanhla's been talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying? You're talking about the the viewership of the platform.
But
and
yeah,
all
I'm
that
saying
stuff.
you guys are supposed to be real giants out here, you know?
Yeah.
Look at Pro Kid, the best rapper to have probably to walk,
grace the mic in
to
South
grace the
Africa.
mic,
Yeah.
to walk the land in South Africa. So why couldn't he sell? Because you're not together. Pro Kid, do you know that in America, these guys become big in the communities, they're already millionaires.
Yeah.
They don't need, the whole of America doesn't need to know them. By the time the Flex or who's that hyena guy?
Questa.
Sway. By the time they're on Sway, they're already like nice because
Yeah.
their communities
They're
are
legends.
supporting
But
them.
that's also because like
400
Texas is the
million.
size of South Africa, bro. I mean, America has like 400 million people.
You can be famous in a state and you're good.
I'm saying, but not everybody in that state will buy that CD.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in Soweto, we all know and love Pro Kid. But when Pro released, why wasn't his music consumed? Pro was supposed to be a millionaire just from Soweto before any other
Before
problems
going
messed with
anywhere.
them or even any other city.
But it was like he was pioneering a wave of hip hop that was different from what we used to consume.
fine.
You get what I mean?
Okay, fine.
Because also with what he was doing, it was unheard of. Rapping in your own language, make it look fun. Looking, you know,
I mean,
it's still smart. Not keeping it, not dumbing it down, not saying things just to say them that they rhyme.
Yeah.
He was actually at the same level of an international lyrical rapper doing that. And by that time,
I completely agree with you.
you get what I mean?
But he was quality. Why didn't we push the quality?
Right.
Why didn't we?
I mean, I say
In the
hip-hop.
white community, half an
Did you see that Duplessis lady, bro? One of the most selling artists, and I don't know her.
Yeah, dog, those niggas buy, dog.
I don't know her.
our things are set up wrong. A half average
Yeah.
talent in other communities makes it bigger than our best talent in black communities.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a best talent, but to date, bro, none of these old guys have ever asked me, yo, every other week you're getting shot by foreigners, drug dealers, and this is happening. Are you okay? Can we do anything for you?
None of them.
I'm saying none of them. Instead, we catch them kokonga, swiping 200. I'm telling you. Instead, we catch them buying our sisters and our I'm sure your girlfriend has been
Well,
no, I'm saying no, I'm not saying with. I'm saying has been shelled.
Of course.
Unless you don't go with quality and you
I'm
look like that guy.
quality. Can you see me?
Yeah. So your girl, if your girl's honest with you, they'll tell you how all these other black men in the positions of power have tried their luck with them.
Yeah.
So these black men and women these days, but large numbers black men, they literally kill the social fiber of our communities.
Yeah.
Bro, after your girl at the age of 19 has been with someone who sits in parliament,
She's not gonna come back down to your level.
listen, forget your level. She'll never be the same human being again.
Yeah, they're messing up the next generation of society
Let
and
me tell you,
mothers.
all these kids that did well in the township or communities or whatever, that are in Veds, UJ, bro, do you know how much they open their legs?
Yeah,
And not because it's nice.
because they have to pay for bills.
Sometimes the time I'm
And he's on
simply
top.
because
Imagine
because
Ooh.
Nefsas didn't pay for the last 3
Yeah.
months, and there's no way that they will call their mother and break the mother's heart to say that I haven't had
Right.
anything to eat for the last 3 months, and then they know that if I go to the club, this big belly thing is gonna breathe on me and probably come in 5 seconds. So it's just a 5 seconds affair that I need
Right.
to handle, and then from there I'll get 2,000 rand. At least I'll buy groceries. It's a reality that the young girls are facing in varsity and colleges, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
giving
bad.
it to you as it is.
And these are the girls that we're supposed to date.
Bro,
and
these
then-
are
yeah.
the future mothers of
These are
South
the
Africa.
future mothers. I love what you said. Forget titles. Any other titles that
Yeah,
the
mothers.
future doctor, what. These are the
Yeah.
future mothers, bro. You're breaking this person before they even become a fit person. Before even the universe says that I'm now giving you responsibility to be a mother.
Right.
You just broke that person.
Bro.
And now they're going to be a mother. Bro, I want you to think
I've
of
met-
the experience of having one of these cats that you see on TV talking nonsense, calling themselves politicians, on top of a sweet 16. It's a
Yeah.
reality. It happens.
And the thing is, we've actually seen it, bro. We've seen these niggas
I'm-
who are
we
driving
see them
all the time,
Don't
bro.
we only see it though.
Forget
All the
the
time.
niggas. Have you ever spoken to a girl your age? Have you ever, has she told you what she's gone through?
Oh.
Bro, when girls like open up and tell you everything they've gone through, you realize that
It's
you're an
traumatizing.
infant compared to
Yeah.
her. By your age, she's like lived a life of three people, three generations. She's seen all of it.
Sure.
Imagine.
Bro, how many I want you to go to Midrand, right? Go to Midrand. Just park your car or just visit someone in those apartments. How many girls walk around doing nothing? And you ask them, how do you pay this rent? Going out once with the roommate pays the rent.
I've seen that.
And this culture is a culture pushed and led by the men in positions of power.
Yeah.
Yo, do you know what's crazy? I'm dating a girl in mid-range right now. And she has a Shimfana. Yo,
I told you about that.
Dog, and she has these nice things, these phones, these cars. She lives in a nice apartment, dog.
And we told him, did we call him out? We like, yo.
Let me actually tell you the scam. Listen to the scam, right? Or syndicate, however way you want to look at it. And I don't blame the sisters, by the way, because if I'm subjected to poverty and I'm sleeping on the kitchen floor while when my breasts are this big because I'm now a grown woman, and so things just don't make sense.
Yeah.
And I get an invite to say that you can move from sleeping in that crowded house where you come from in Soweto. I can organize. I know the guy that does the leases. We're nice with him now. You can get your own apartment, and I'll match you with another girl who's cool with us.
Yeah.
You guys, one weekend, we've taught you, we've shown you. The last few times we gave you the 2,000 from my pocket, where do you think I get it from? Now it's your turn. Do the right thing. And if one girl is flirting with 6 guys online, I'm not saying in real life.
Yeah.
I'm coming to the real life.
Yeah.
And this one girl that's flirting with the 6 guys, I'm talking about a girl that's chilling, doing nothing because they're not working or going to school anymore.
Yeah.
Sitting in Midrand somewhere. 6 guys. And says, baby, please 1,000. And all these 6 guys are a certain type. They all work prep call center maybe, but minimum requirement work.
Yeah.
So on the 25th, baby Kupa 2,000, baby Kupa 1,000, and then Babadi tender, baby Kupa 5,000. But these girls can make you 30K over 5-6 WhatsApps. And then they look at you coming to flex here your things here, like this one.
Yeah, small boy to them.
So but that's moral decay of society.
Yes.
And it's been brought to us by these people who did not understand the importance of taking care of young girls, unfortunately. And this has become a norm.
Yeah.
Some of them will chow you alive if you speak about this truth, because it's just, but me, I don't need you to vote for me to be who I am. So I don't need to tiptoe around the truth. I don't need your money for me to continue. So I say it as it is, unfortunately. And we need to change it. We need to protect the young girls better. Growing up in the township, you wouldn't come and checker. Checker check your style. And just come and see your hand. In my hood, we already had that social barrier. So whether you're coming with good or bad intentions, the girl is safe.
Yeah, you look out for her.
You see? You're looking out for
Now you see GTI is pulling
right
up now.
Student dresses. Have you seen the parking lot at the student dress?
Forget student dress. I'm saying in the hood. What the old timers did for us, we can't do for the younger ones. The old timers, I wouldn't be able to check her in the next car, see? Because the old timers, they would put me correct. But now, I allow GTI to park next door me. Beep, beep. And come take this girl. I see this girl is coming out with the coat, but I can see just before the coat is... That's a different dress. So obviously, we all know it's wrong. That's why you were hiding when you went out the house. But the old days... So the real Soweto, that GTI will confiscate it. I'm saying it nicely when I say that.
Now we actually get excited. We see that GTI, yo.
And you even go to the guy, your car is too wet. It's ice everywhere.
Yeah.
It's blinging everywhere.
Yeah.
We're not asking the real question.
Like, what's going on?
Who are you? Where are you from?
Yeah.
Like when you go with this girl, where you going? I know where Taboo is, but the mother doesn't know. So if you say Taboo, and then there's news that come to me that she didn't come back home, at least I can trace her steps.
There's a lot of girls
You see,
dying.
there's a lot of girls disappearing, bro.
Accidents, and then girls dead.
And then the cops don't even investigate the deaths and everything.
Dog, forget about those guys, bro. Here's my question. I want to know, was it the Grotmans like you who were saying, hey, then check out the side? Or was it the actual timers?
It was anyone that's available. Even the young guys playing soccer on the street.
Right.
If you, we don't understand where you're going or coming, and we don't recognize your face, one of us sprints to call the bigger guys. Yo, we've got someone here in the streets you don't know. And you know how we did it back in the day? A guy would say, Tamobita Tembi. And I'm the one that calls Tembi.
Sure.
But I wouldn't call Tembi for
just anybody.
Yeah, for just anyone. I'd need to know. Like Tembi would have had to give us that Bluetooth signal that says, kids, this is my guy, and my mother knows this guy, and my brother knows this guy. So when this guy comes, this guy is cool. But now there's none of that.
Where do you think we went wrong?
We went wrong when we accepted the nonsense laws that was shoved down our throats. We operated on a decent spirit of Ubuntu. We're in line with nature as Black people, and they somewhat substituted our nature with systems that they control, so that you can be the end product that they also control. So the schools are getting it wrong. Like I always say, the education system is not in line with our economic system. So we all have phones right now. Cell phone or tech repair should be a subject in school, so that you graduate grade 12, you've got a skill. Immediately you can open shop and start putting bread on the table. But now we've got grade 12s that sit in street corners and ask for Turanskif because all they have is theory. They don't have skill.
Yeah, I wanted to know why by now, like, schools are not opening up a business and like starting something as a practical, like in high school.
I've always felt like schools are just like making slaves for the economic system. You know what I mean?
But you're right. That was what school was meant for. School was a system to condition the majority to being certain types of people that will make sense to the economy of the day.
Yeah, accepting orders.
You see?
Don't think beyond what you're taught.
Yes. So right now, we need to be, look, the South African economy, the heartbeat of our economy is mining and agriculture. All of you here and everyone listening, majority of the people have matrics, but they know nothing about the economy, mining. But there's a kid in Germany or many other places in the world where they don't have mineral resource like we do under the earth.
But they know everything.
Who, as part of their education system, gets taught about mining. That means fast forward a few years, someone will have to fly in to run this economy. That has to do with mining, because you and I know nothing about it.
Right. Think about
so
it.
You'll just have to wait for them to see if they like you, to give you a job to clean or drive the van.
If they have to import the brains to come and run the country, then that means the infrastructure needs to be imported.
100%.
Then if the infrastructure is important, then you do not sit in any position where you're in power, because you're just there to help them fulfill their mission.
Right.
Sure.
Let's switch gears for a bit, right? Because we have to talk about this. So you left Operation Dudula, right?
Yeah.
So what was the reason?
So the reason is simple. Let's first define Operation Dudula and not assume everybody knows what Operation Dudula is.
Yeah, please do that.
Operation Dudula, even now, Google it. Look at the t-shirts. They're written military veterans and umphakathi. Military veterans are all the guys that went abroad to train, and some that trained internal to fight with the apartheid regime. But because negotiations took place, then they were not used. You see? So they are now...
By those veterans, you mean like probably even, is it MK?
MK.
Yeah.
MK is one of them. Apla is another one of them.
Yeah.
So they were saying in the inception of Dudula that we need to get all these guys that were ready to fight for the country to actually come and fight for the country and transfer skill to some young people to keep fighting for the country, because we've got new challenges now that, for example, the undocumented foreigners shooting people, killing people. Some have died in front of me. The ordinary person in the community doesn't know what to do with that situation. But trained veterans can help the police with more manpower to deal with such things.
But do you think we've come to a point whereby a trained veteran needs to teach society? Because what they know is war.
Okay,
do you think we're there?
I'm coming to that. We live... If I had to bury more than one hand, people who died on the streets, we're at war. War is not a president standing up saying we are declaring war.
Yeah.
War can be declared without speaking.
Yeah.
You see?
Acts of war.
But let's focus on the Dudula thing. So the military veterans, not just MK, military veterans, the guys that were there when everything started, said Dudula is made up of two constituencies as per the definition, military veterans and community, meaning umpagat.
Yeah.
So here's Lux, who's already a president of Soweto Parliament, meaning leading people in their millions, and say, let's join this train called Dudula.
So Soweto Parliament was already a thing.
10 years deep, bro.
10 years, okay.
Dudula is what, just completed 12 months.
Okay.
So in Soweto Parliament, we adopted Dudula as a program. Because already we had, before Dudula did its thing as Dudula, we already, as Soweto Parliament, had programs that address undocumented foreigners in Soweto, in the delivery space, and you can check it online because Google will give you the dates. So we then said, let's not work like this.
Yeah.
Let's work together because
Let's unite.
let's unite because we're talking about the same thing. And their responsibility as military veterans was to mobilize more military veterans. My responsibility leading the community was to mobilize more communities. All of you, even at home now watching, every time you saw an Operation Dudula launch, you saw the communities coming out.
Right.
So whose constituency was growing inside Dudula? The one I was leading. I was leading military veterans. Have you ever seen them coming at any launch with buses full of military veterans to say, yes, where's the community? High five, let's do this.
No.
I still haven't seen them to date. So when you also need to understand that the structures of Dudula were all, I think maybe the best way to say it, acting structures, because no one nominated them or voted for them to be there. So it's something that's starting. So we just have to work with what we have.
Yeah.
But fast forward, the structures from president, not president, from chairman to deputy chair to treasurer to etc. The entire structure as we know it happened to be led 100% by the military veterans. So you have a situation where military veterans are now leading the ordinary people of the community that we managed to bring into Dudula. So there's a problem right there.
So did they kick you out or push you out?
No, I stepped out.
Okay.
So there's a problem right there. And what's the
So
problem?
you felt like you were carrying them, ne?
No, not felt. I was.
You were.
I was.
What's the problem?
So the problem here is about to come. They in the leadership structure of Dudula. I'm the president of the people because I come from Soweto Parliament bringing these people here. Now, when they take some decisions, for example, the 10th of July was supposed to be a national shutdown. You guys remember that?
Yeah. Was it your guys?
No. It was faceless and nobody owned up to it.
Yeah.
So Dudula then says,
I wanted to not go to work. So,
Dudula.
so when I saw it was just Twitter, I was like,
Dudula then says, we have an operation to remove people from spazas on that day. And it's finalized. And there's papers going around every shop with signed by the local structures. Then I make a video and say, this day is a dangerous day because it's declared a shutdown. We don't know organized by who. If there's something that happens like looting, you guys
are going to be responsible.
And because who do they arrest when there's a problem at Dudula? Me.
Because you are the face of Dudula.
Yeah. So I then put out a video on the eve, the night before, but it gets to everyone and people don't do what was instructed on that side. So instead of them saying, thank you, it was an oversight from us, we didn't see it because that date is a bad date, they want to now become emotional and say that, hey, this one has a strong voice compared to all of us put together. We must start doing these political things. Because don't forget, they come from a political background.
Yeah.
We must now initiate political division and start making Dudula factions. So I was like, but I'm not here for this. Like my life is way bigger. Bro, I don't even have intentions of being the South African president. Because
that's what everyone says that wants to be the president.
Yeah. No, but that box,
like
the difference, but the difference between
I wasn't planning a speech.
Listen,
and then these papers.
But the difference between me and those people is that I've ticked that box. I'm the president of millions of people who happen to be South African.
Right.
So you're already the
So I'm
president.
already the president
Phakathi
for
inside.
South Africans.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I don't have any other like sick ambition of taking over the political space. I don't have those things, guys. I'm just good at what I do, and that's why we'll always outsmart people who are in our space because we have passion to make a real difference to real people and tackle real problems, not made up problems. You see, so Dudula, then they want to contest my authority. They want to mute my voice a bit.
Who
It's
are
too
these
loud.
guys?
The leadership.
The same.
Can you like name someone like who's the leader there? Like
For the fact that you are asking me, should tell you that there's a problem.
I mean, we know you as the leader.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
that's what
You've
he's
been
saying.
No,
named
young
the
people.
face, so it's like we don't
Operation
know who you're
Dudula
talking
was
about.
No, young people.
Nhlanhla Lux.
Young
Yeah.
people. I left them politicking. So they got 30 people to make a song saying Lux Mene. After
Wait, they got a
few people to sing
to
that
make a song.
Yeah, and record it. So if guys in ANC t-shirts 30 sing about Jacob Zuma,
Is
then
this how you guys beef politically?
They-
You guys make
them.
songs.
they don't include me in that thing.
Don't fugger him.
Yeah, don't fuck on me. I
Is
just
this your
told you.
diss tracks?
Yeah,
Yeah,
diss
it's a
track.
diss track,
Yeah, that's all they
basically.
know. It's a diss track. So they then start doing all those things. I remind them that I'm not here for that. And don't forget, technically, the biggest problem here is that you guys have political ambition. You want Dudula to be a political party, and I'm non-political. So if you're going to continue with this nonsense of trying to move Dudula from a pressure group that puts government under pressure to do the right thing, and you actually want to now go start competing with government, first of all, here's a fair question. What is our education? The capacity of our education? If we wake up and people voted for us and we're running the country, will we run the country down or up?
That's the thing.
That's the thing. We need to be honest and real. This kid is asking other questions. Must just mute him even more.
They don't care. They're just power hungry.
Just
at
power
this-
hungry. That's the problem. And let me tell you, individually, I would if right now, if I got a message that one of them, not all of them, but there's some of them, if I get a message that say that they're being held hostage somewhere, I'd leave you guys now. We'll continue next time.
So they're still your brothers like that.
No, I still love some of them for real, but it doesn't separate my love
From your actual
the
mission.
truth.
Yeah.
The truth is the truth. Like you have to speak the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
So these guys, then there's an attempt to silence my voice, but I don't defend myself because I understand what I'm here for. I'm here for action. I'm not here for talking because then I'm subjecting myself to becoming a politician.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
don't talk much.
Yeah.
I just action out, action out, action out. Now, we go to a press conference. Oh, so before the press conference, there's a video that trends of me saying that we don't have a problem with all foreigners. We have a problem with undocumented foreigners that are undermining the laws of this country.
Yeah.
The real problem here, the criminals.
Yes.
Because if you're undocumented, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
So the real problem here is a set group of people that we know.
Yeah.
So I'm literally saying the rest of the foreigners that are documented respecting our laws, you have nothing to worry about. And that's the message that I've been consistent with from day one. If you're saying all foreigners must go, you are also saying that all the embassies must pack and go. It's stupid. How dare you even say that? That shows how you're not in touch with the reality of politics.
Yeah.
You have political ambition, but you're saying such statements. What are you going to do when you get into that space? Madness. That also means that our ambassadors across the world
You need to
must
come
now
back.
pack
Must come
and
back.
home. Are you stupid?
Yeah. And it isolates South Africa.
Isolate South Africa.
Yeah.
But then I see some people who are friends with some of these people that are pushing that narrative that Lux must be the mouthpiece of all us fighting all foreigners. I said, you can be the mouthpiece of that nonsense. You'll never catch me bending my own morals for the sake of making you smile temporarily just for today. To hell with you. I will not be a mouthpiece that advocates for all foreigners to go in South Africa. I am here fighting against undocumented foreigners who are undermining the laws of this country, meaning the criminals. Because even by virtue of being undocumented, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
So, no, Lux, that one sounds light. Why? Because you guys must also realize that it doesn't matter how hot a girl is. If we see the girl too much, in our eyes, they stop being hot.
It starts becoming a norm.
Yes, you see. So I'm just giving you examples. So Dudula has now reached the ceiling. I'm being honest with you. People are used to it. If they see it on TV, it's not a focus anymore. But Bagu today. Oh, is it?
Which mall are they protecting?
Yeah. Not protecting.
But Dudula bani.
So,
Steph, but Dudula bani.
Yeah, which one?
yeah, but Dudula one this time. You know, so Dudula remains to be an important function if it's kept as a function that puts pressure on government, not as a political party.
But think about it though. Sorry to cut you short. Your steps as Dudula, not your steps, but Dudula's steps moving forward was going in a position that you guys were ultimately going to become a party, right?
No.
You didn't want it, but they wanted
It was moving in
Some people, because don't forget that maybe it's also selfish for a person like me to say, let's not. If people want to, let people be.
One day also
Like-
kicked out from the actual movement after like a lot of veterans, once the country was liberated, they were kicked out from the movement.
Yeah,
And
so what you are saying is,
they want to now come
A
back
lot
and
of-
take out the squinch.
yeah, so what you're saying is a lot of military veterans bases like APLA, MK, let's speak MK. It was disbanded,
Yeah.
right? So you're correct. They come from a time, they come from a history where they also want to belong, and it's difficult
and reap the benefits of
reap
the
the
labor.
benefits because all they know is what they've been trained for, and they're here now.
Yeah.
Some of them were put into various positions, and we respect them for actually
for what they've done.
for what they've done for us.
Yes.
But in this day and time, what I always say internally, it's the first time I express it externally, is that the biggest problem in society is that when we give dinosaurs life again, they will come here and even eat you. That's exactly what we did.
Fossil
Unfortunately,
fuels.
yeah.
Damn.
We, instead of collecting more young people, focusing on more young people
Productive ways.
who can run this marathon with us, we took people who we thought could run the marathon with us. This is my personal view, and I continue to maintain it. We breathed life into dinosaurs,
into dead stuff.
and when this thing that's been sleeping for a long time gains relevance through us, through our efforts as young people, all they want to do is they want to eat. Because they're just too big. Big things eat, bro. So they just want to eat.
Tata konke.
Yeah, tata wonke, tati opportunity, tata. And there are too many allegations anyway, And some of the allegations, some of the things I know personally, I thought they would be sorted out. They were not. We can't move you out. We can't move undocumented people out of a building. And then a week later, we get a report that says, yes, but those people that we moved are back, except they're paying rent to one of your guys.
Oh.
Hey, man.
That's Jerusalem.
So
Those are some of
That's
the
definitely
things that
Jerusalem.
the
I've seen that in a
allegations-
movie.
Yeah, those are some of the allegations and some of the realities that as a leader you have to live with. So
Yeah.
I was happy that the people that live in glass houses are throwing stones, because I had an opportunity through the press brief to be honest about absolutely everything. Some things that I'm not even telling you now, but I decided because where I'm going is more important than where I am. Where they are is more important than where they are going.
Do you think they used
they're not going anywhere?
Exactly.
That's the
That's
thing.
why where they
That's
are
why
is
it's important, yes.
And they must just fight for everything and lie about everything.
And eat.
So I have this thing, bro. You can take, girls. I like this girl boy thing because we've all experienced it. So these are good examples.
Right.
If you take my girl and the reason why you took her
Was
is
because-
because you lied about me, you have to maintain the lies. Now, when I pull up in the McLaren and I didn't see both of you like, hey, by the way, this is my boy and my ex. Are you guys okay? And that time you're gay, like petrol.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling up in the McLaren. So you have to now explain. But you told me that this guy, the McLaren was never his. That's what you said. But he just passed us in the same McLaren and you don't have petrol.
Ish.
So people are going to realize with time that they
They've been
were
like,
an instrument. They were just a pawn. They were using them to now say, Lux just 10 years. But if people can actually just date back, Google every speech about Lux, everything that Lux said, interview, Lux has actually always been consistent. These guys are just desperate because the most important thing that can ever happen in their lives is now.
Yes.
When the sun rises tomorrow, they're not part of the sunrise.
And you have time.
I have time.
Yeah.
And not only time, but I also have the will. And I've proven that we can win. So winning is almost inevitable.
And you can make a real impact.
Come on, anytime.
My question is, okay, seeing you guys, Nhlanhla Lux as separating himself from Operation Dudula, would you say that there was external factors that caused that, or was a catalyst? Because let's be honest, you don't have you're not just like anyone which has normal enemies. You have national enemies, you know? Like, yeah,
now at one point,
Julius,
the entire president, Julius Kingwana, Joe.
Yeah, Cyril condemns Dudula.
Julius ki baby. Julius not
baby girl.
No, serious.
No,
I'm saying in politics. I'm not undermining Julius.
No. I'm saying, there was
Yeah.
this boy called, not this boy, but big closer when he called Iris baby girl.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Oh, no. I don't even know.
So you guys have
there.
that kind of enemies, right?
So
Would
what I
you
was
say
saying
that
is,
they influenced.
so I've inherited real enemies, people with real power.
Yeah.
From big corporations,
Private sectors,
from private sector,
professionals.
big syndicate leaders are saying this kid is a problem.
Yeah.
People don't come in and shoot at us because it's fun. It's because it's been discussed. This kid is a
Right.
problem.
I heard Cyril condemning Dudula the other day.
Forget Dudula. I was internationally regarded as a leader because you know how they look at Africa, right? Like there's rebel forces emerging out of everywhere.
Right,
So
right.
I was like a rebel leader in some countries, how it was being reported. I was a vigilante because
Like a terrorist leader.
because the president said more than 3 times that no, those ones vigilantes. And when you say those ones, the leaders of those ones is Nhlanhla Lux.
Yeah.
Because the questions from some people, but Nhlanhla Lux is not a until. That's what we said. And if the president is saying such, that means every other function of government, because they're led by the man, needs to take that posture. So moving in the country at some point was difficult for me. Because the police are saying you're vigilante and you've got people surveilling your house because you could actually be planning a coup and you've got a voice strong enough for that coup.
Are you a terrorist?
I'm not, bro.
Okay.
I'm not.
It must be so difficult to live like that,
Yeah,
though, bro.
it
How do you sleep at night? You know, because I would be scared, bro.
Definitely.
But if you know that you get scared, you get scared when you know you're doing the wrong thing. So when you're doing the right thing,
You're motivated.
fear can't, that actually motivates you. So we then managed to navigate ourselves through that era up until Africa Union, United Nations said after our own inquiries,
They reached out to you.
I say I don't like the human rights because I talk to them. I march to their offices.
Yeah.
I've asked them many questions. Which humans are you advocating rights for? Some or all? Because South Africans are getting raped in South Africa. I don't see you screaming about it. But as soon as there's one foreigner that's just being pushed around, you scream your lungs out. So there's Human Rights Commission is also not a fair institution, but it's a Chapter 9 institution in our constitution.
And isn't it meant to regulate, because from my perspective, the South African government is meant to take care, prioritize South Africans, right? According to the law, right?
Yeah, but they're not a foreign
and then
human rights institution. They are human rights
but they
institution.
act as that. You get what I mean?
Which is wrong. They're here for human rights, not some humans. Their policies, their acts, it's clear. They are a Chapter 9 institution. This should be basic common knowledge for all of us. But we don't get taught about even our own constitution in school. You should write an exam on the constitution, guys. It should be part of our education system, but it's not there. Let's finish the story of Dudula.
Yeah.
Because I want to move from it.
Yeah.
So you also then understand that when I do the press brief and say that we separating from Dudula and whatever else, but there's no beef, we okay, and that's just me advocating for peace. That's actually
it's
as
not
fake as Mandela's Codesa. It was that fake. Now I'm being honest with you now. It was that fake.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to desperately move away from me so you can understand the value that I actually had in your life.
Right.
So I'm not trying to over-explain my value. I'm happy that you are taking the decision to lie to people about me. I won't speak the truth about you, at least not now.
So they were lying that your message has changed, you've been compromised.
Who was lying?
Your previous...
Yeah, I've never
partners.
changed. If you can prove that I changed, I promise you I'll give you half a bar.
Half a bar.
Yeah. So I've got a job for these kids and everyone else listening. My message has always been consistent.
Yeah.
People don't know that I've actually been to Ethiopia to go assist in fighting a war this year. How can I be xenophobic if I'm the guy that goes to Ethiopia and does that? In January, I was in Ethiopia.
What war?
They undergoing a war. There's coups trying to
Yeah, you
overthrow
don't
the
come.
government.
I'm only hearing
what
that.
was
But
Ethiopia is the only
what
country
your
that's
role?
not colonized, right?
So Ethiopia in the whole continent is the only country that was never colonized.
Yeah.
So it still has like deep-rooted cultures of Africa that we
Yes.
never messed with. So
And the leadership also.
yeah, type of thing. You know, so now there's something that is called neo-colonization. So
What's the meaning of that?
So basically, there's a systematic colonization now. Abasa kenaka just to go in and kill the women like they did in other countries, and so they're now using systems to literally take over and using propaganda to say that there's a problem.
Media, economy.
So right now in Russia versus Ukraine, you guys know that you can lift your hand up from anywhere in the world and sign an indemnity and say I'm helping Russia or I'm helping Ukraine.
Yeah.
So you can do the same thing with African countries.
Yeah.
So we offered ourselves to say that this nonsense that's going on in Ethiopia, as young people in South Africa, we want to show solidarity with other Africans.
Yeah.
We are saying that we've got a little bit of skill and a little bit of resources in terms of media and exposure. We want to come there. We're ready. If we die there, no problem. So we went there. We're on the ground. We're looking at where people have killed people, where these rebels have come in and raped communities.
Yeah.
I interviewed people that were raped. I spoke about it so that it can reflect. So the truth of the matter can reflect without propaganda.
Yeah.
And as we move, I'm surrounded by just machine guns because any time is tea time. So people must actually go online and just say Nhlanhla Lux, maybe even just say Ethiopia. Then you'll see. So some of these things, because they happened before even the president said I'm xenophobic and I'm cool. So my actions help me prove that I'm actually not what you are saying without me having to speak a single word.
Right.
So that's why I love actions more than words, because then we don't have to be lying to each other.
But one can say that you did that not to cover, but to push a certain
But
agenda.
it was before the
This was before any statement.
It was before the statements, before the everything. Yeah.
I feel like you leaving Dudula was just to like flex your muscles. To be honest with you, it was just to show that like this is my importance and this is what I do when I'm here.
Sure.
So when I'm gone, y'all will see.
Look, man, it was God flexing, not me. Because a lot of the things that happened that I do, I literally let go and allow the universe to take over. So when you undermine some of the things we've done, it's deep. You're undermining the universe's favor. Because the universe conspires for as young as we are to be able to navigate and achieve what other people can't. So when you go against me, you got to think deeper. You're literally going against the universe's design.
I thought you were about to say you're going against God.
Yeah,
No.
but I feel it's the same.
It's actually it's synonymous to saying that, but it sounds wrong on us if I were to put it in those words. But it's unfortunate. Look at when you got arrested. 36 cars, they made a big thing. They thought it'd be the end of us. They didn't know that we'll multiply within 24 hours. Who knew that my arrest would cause such an uprising in various communities? They thought they were killing us, bro, but they were breathing life into us. It's the universe that is designed. It knows better.
Yeah, so my question is, you see, if they arrest you, there's uproar, there's communities, how are you educating the people? Because we've seen it time after time after. If we arrest a leader that is loved, then there's uproar, there's looting. And how are you educating the people that follow you in order for them to not make the same mistakes? Even if they arrest you, they look at it as an opportunity to educate more people.
Sure.
You get what I mean? So because sometimes messages like that can get lost in translations. And then when they arrest you tomorrow, there's going to be burning of all foreign shops and all that kind of stuff.
So if you go to my interviews and judge me for what I've said and the actions that I've taken, you then realize that I've always had an educational element to even a small interview.
Yeah.
Even after people watch this interview, there's a lot they're going to learn.
Yeah.
Not because I know everything, but I make sure that where it's important to where I think I have knowledge, I share it.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So I can even refer to many other interviews that I've been in. I tell people, go to the interview that I did just before walking into the police station.
Mm-hmm.
You could swear that I'm not the one being arrested.
Mm.
I was talking about that educational stuff. Guys, we're not going to do this. We're not going to burn tires. We're going to protect our infrastructure. We're not going to break down anything. I've said this a million times. In Soweto, I'm probably the one leader that's known to make sure that there's no infrastructure that gets...
They want you to be a hooligan so
They want
badly,
me to,
bro.
bro. They want me to, but they'll never get it out of me because everything I do is organic and natural. And my nature is not that of being a hooligan. My nature is actually chess moves in my head all the time. Yeah.
So I heard, right, you can debunk this,
Sure.
but I heard that Soweto Parliament is just like the Mafia. So basically, you guys go into the spazas and the kulas and whatever. You basically tell them that if they don't pay you for protection, then you're going to come and kick them out or burn down their shops or whatever, you know. So is that true? Is that how you guys move as Soweto Parliament?
I also heard that, but we hear too many other things. I heard that recently. I heard that I'm the new Kizam Taung and I'm the new Ivan Kos. I don't know what that means. In the town.
What
does
are the
that
Mafia
mean,
leaders?
But again, you see, you're saying they are mafia leaders. You only heard people say that. Have you ever seen Dr. Ivan Koza or
Ivan
Kizam
Koza-
Taung move like a mafia?
I feel like Ivan Koza, it's obvious.
Don't
but,
say feel.
Okay.
Tell me fact. Because feeling,
I don't
you're
know
already
facts
saying
for
that,
sure.
that don't judge
That's
me.
true. Yeah. This is
Tell
how I
me,
feel.
tell me.
No, I don't
We
I
need
don't-
to
I don't
protect
have-
each other. We spoke about Richard Maponya. It's
Yeah.
easy for us to throw him under the bus through people's opinions. Let's speak fact. Hey, Ivan Koza. Hey, Motaung.
Yeah.
We only experience those people in soccer. Tell me your any other experience you have of Ivan Koza outside soccer.
Not much. But
So
when
how
I
is
talk,
he?
when I talk to everyone in soccer,
Yeah.
they tell me that he pretty much moves like a mafia.
Okay.
Didn't they say his daughter was dating Zuma or something like that?
Look,
It was just a whole lot of political ties.
let's think of mafias that we know. You can even be commercial, doesn't have to be the real deal. Frank Lucas, one of them. Al Pacino, another. How does Ivan Koza move like those people?
Structure.
Okay, me, I don't know. I don't
in
know
a
what
way that
Ivan Koza,
favors
right?
him.
But what I'm saying is Soweto Parliament,
Yeah.
are the coolers paying you guys for protection?
Let me go back to that. So, Soweto Parliament is an institution that brings people and organizations together in Soweto. The police, all police station commanders are part of Soweto Parliament. All hostels, leadership of hostels in Soweto are part of Soweto Parliament. All taxi associations are part of Soweto Parliament. NGOs are part of Soweto Parliament. Councillors in all wards in Soweto sit in Soweto Parliament. Soweto Parliament principals who act also as councillors in their wards because they hold these ones accountable form part of Parliament. Top 6 of Parliament, the President. So the number gets to about 160 something when Parliament sits. Parliament then goes through the problems, economic problems in Soweto, political problems in Soweto, social problems in Soweto, family house problems as an example. People want to sell a family house. What's the procedure? The law doesn't cater for that. So we have to get involved and see how we can have an amicable solution around such problems. Now, Soweto Parliament then discusses the problems, takes a resolution on the solution for the problems, and votes on a program of action for the problems. So what mafia is there? Then the police are part of the mafias.
Yes,
How?
we see it. We can see outside a drug house, a police
No,
car.
I'm saying based on our actions. He's asking about Soweto Parliament. Because when the police move how they move, it's nothing to do with us.
I wish I did more research so
Okay,
I can have something right
let
now.
me explain
I
to
don't
you.
have anything
Let me
right
explain
now.
to you further in what he's saying. So, okay, already we have a unrest in youth unemployment and unemployment, right? Then we have the same thing of a conversation that's an ongoing conversation that was brought to light internationally by 2008, which is xenophobia, right? And at the same time, we have the government, which are forsaking their own people, right? Those are three already conversations that have been ongoing, and there's probably more. And those are very, I would say, entrenched in emotion in the South African community. So the question is, when we say, are you moving like a mafia? It's, are you using South African traumas, problems, and everything to capitalize on it by bringing the conversation forward that, okay, foreign nationals and all those kind of stuff you're pushing. And then later on, you go on the back end to say, we'll protect you as long as you pay to be there.
So the answer is no, we don't do that, because all our operations have a lot of people involved. You can't do that type of crime if you have too many stakeholders involved. When we take a decision to act on something in Soweto, it's within the boundaries of the law. The police will always be there. The police are in parliament. When we pass, they'll take this resolution. And when we vote on a program of action that is defined, then the police are there to carry out. If it's criminal, it requires the police. If it's criminal and needs the support of the military is also there. It's a South African National Defence Force. So we are more than anything coordinators of solutions for problems. We are part of those problems. We live in the township. So we take decisions based on what makes sense for the majority. Sometimes we may say, siyabangena, and then one of the police guys say, but I can hear the program of action and I understand its definition. But here you're breaking the law, so we can't do it that way. And we literally sit and say how's best to do it. And we do it within the frameworks of the law. So what's mafia about that? Bro, if I was mafia, the president wouldn't have room to speak to about me that way. Let me tell you, Bobo Julius, how they disrespecting us. They'd disappear because I know his address. I know the teacher that teaches his child. Deep. No, I'm being serious. So to manage Julius, but we don't do that. We even lead those that disagree with us. It's that simple.
So,
wait, how is it funded then?
That's my question.
How is it
Because
funded?
it
Where
can't
does the money come from?
I'm going to do this. If I say what money, it sounds like
come on.
Come
There's
on.
no
Like, there's no
way-
operation that
there's
can
no
be run
way
like this
that
with
you
no
guys are
money.
running with no cash.
Petrol.
bro.
Just talk about petrol.
Buses,
Let's
all
talk
the
about
stuff,
I'm so
dog.
happy that you guys are about to self-expose yourselves.
How are we exposing ourselves?
How
this
you
is your
jumping?
Dog,
operation.
I know that for a fact that
Listen.
you're not broke. I know
Listen.
that for sure.
Listen. Look at how two people are jumping emotionally about an operation they don't understand. And this is how
So that's why we're asking you to school us.
Yes. So listen, let's speak about things that we've done.
Yeah.
We've gone to Maponya Mall to defend Maponya Mall. How much was that operation?
You know.
My house is walking distance away from Maponya Mall. It was free. Didn't cost a rand. It cost me the data that I did that video. Go back to the video. And I asked for manpower and backup.
What about the
whole of
gear,
Soweto. I'm coming.
the protection gear?
I'm coming. So but the protection gear is my personal gear. Not everyone dresses like that.
No, but for everyone.
What do you mean?
Not in, people. Some people are wearing
No,
bulletproof
bro.
vests.
No,
and
everybody can get that if they want. How much are your sneakers? I want to show you something.
Like 700. This one was 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah.
Bulletproof 900. So what funding?
Yeah, but who
we have an
funded it?
inquiry? I bought it myself. It's mine.
Did everybody else have
it's
them
not
too?
No. My bulletproof is different to the next guy because we just make means and buy whatever you think is comfortable for your own operation. I know I'm in the front line. I get shot at every week.
Yeah.
So I must have a bulletproof. And I bought myself a bulletproof. So I mustn't, because I'm scared of what people say, where do you get it from?
So everyone that works under you is volunteering.
Absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely everybody. So I want you to know something. When we take buses and go to the mayor's office, do you know that people buy Gazata? Gazata means we all contribute.
I know.
So if the bus costs 100 rand and there's 10 people, we all take out 10 rand. Guys, that's already 100 rand. The bus is leaving.
Is that how you work, bro?
Bro, if we could do it during Fountain, I don't know where you guys used to go to the parks and chill. Jamestown Lake and Fountain and what. We used to Gazata in high school.
Yeah.
Right.
So how hard is it to Gazata for our people's problems?
And Machita Sekas also.
Yeah, and it's a culture of Gazata anyway. And some people say, and some of the tax associations, they give us the taxes for free. We go and come back because load shedding, lack of electricity affects them too. There's too much traffic. There's no, the traffic lights are not working. So it's within their interest to support the march. We're marching for electricity, and you asking where do I get the support of 50 taxis from? The associations ask them.
Let me ask you personally. Ask you personally. Let's forget Soweto Parliament.
Yeah.
Your private airline is no more active, right?
Yeah.
So how are you living?
Sure.
You as Nhlanhla.
Yeah. Look, right now, I don't know what dinner I'm going to eat, but I'm going to go back
That's
home.
cap, bro.
come
That's
on.
cap, though.
But you're trying,
no,
but you're
but
trying to
I'm
force a hand.
I'm sorry, I'm not buying that one.
Let me
Lux,
finish
dog.
talking though. But you can't argue with a point you don't understand. Okay, what was I saying for you to say no?
You don't know
I
what
mean,
you're
you
gonna eat
literally
next.
just said
No,
now.
no,
You
listen.
said I'll give you half a bar if you are able to find something there, right?
Yeah,
you
easy.
said that, right?
But like
So you
Gazeta
can't
for
tell me
me.
that you don't have dinner when you have half a bar to
Guys,
give someone.
But you don't do that to yourself. You guys are way smarter than that. I'm not saying I'm not going to eat tonight. I was about to say something and you objected before understanding what. Now I'm asking both of you, what was I going to say?
No, we don't know what you're gonna say.
So you're just jumping on something you don't know.
You're insinuating that you don't have anything to
No,
eat.
allow the next person to talk and then have full information to make an informed decision. Because right now, you had no information, but you made that decision. It's not an informed decision. But let's move. Right now, I don't know what I'm going to eat. But when I get to the base, I am going to eat. We live, I always have minimum about 10 people around me. Minimum, always. Whether I go to another base is just houses.
Yeah.
Whether I go to another base or your base, I'm always eating. So you can say, it's Wednesday, we're coming to the base. Then whatever I had prepared, I'll make sure that I make extra for the guys that said they're coming.
Yeah.
You see? So we live like that. We communal. It's just unfortunate. Sometimes my mother asks me, Li Gaimo, why ke payile masapo? Like today, my niggas nereja masapo. Masapo is not just bones, it's like meat with bones. It's a kasi thing.
Yeah.
Ke payile masapo, send one guy to come and pick up. We all ate. Like, and we left it there. I
know that
if I want to go to Texas, I can go. I'm not saying
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
have money
saying.
for
I know that you
but
live
it's
like that, right? I know
Yeah.
that you live like that gassy lifestyle,
Let me
but
tell-
I know that you can afford
easily.
the other life too.
Let me tell you, it's not a secret. The house I live in, I could have built it anywhere in the world and it would fit. Anywhere. In Mauritius, the best place in any, but I decided to build it in Soweto.
Where'd you
I've got
come from? A
helipad.
wealthy family?
No, I don't. I've got a helipad on top of my house.
Ain't no way, bro.
What'd you say? In no
A
way.
helipad on top of the crib.
What you saying in no way?
Like you're watching a movie, bro.
But the thing is, don't limit yourself to thinking this nonsense. Allow
but
the
where
Benny and
does the
Better
fun
education to say,
come
what? No way. I'm expecting you to say, that's the shit I'm talking about. I'm going to have two at my house. Not, that's no way.
Yeah.
Come
Because
on, bro.
we're not
expand your mind
excluding
out
the
That
of
whole
it.
We're not
thing of you
listen.
having a sports car in Pimville, is it true?
What? Sports car?
Don't you-
GTI is a sports car. Supercar. Yes. What the fuck you talking about?
So you had a supercar in the
God
hood,
damn.
and you say you don't come from a wealthy family.
I
mean,
do
he's a
not.
hustler.
Why is it hard for you?
Where did you?
Why is
where
it
did
hard for you to be the guy that makes it in your family?
It's not
Why
hard.
can't you be
It's
the?
not hard.
No, but I'm
But
saying
the
why
question
can't it
is-
be? Why is it hard for
Now
people to
educate.
accept?
Educate
No,
the
and
people.
this is not an argument for people listening.
Yeah.
It's just a robust discussion
Yes.
so that we can actually understand
Now you
things
can
the same
educate
way.
the people that
Yes.
how is it possible that you
This
are
is-
doing it?
This is how it's possible. Many of you could be doing it, but whenever you got your first break, your economic break of getting a decent job that pays about 30K nyana, the first thing you thought of is you're going to mid-rent or khatelle bana ba bang. So all your money is going to rentals and it's sliding. Just have financial education. I buy everything on cash. Cash. If I don't afford it, I don't buy it. You see? So I don't have to depend on the systems. I don't have to be paying loans and whatever else and requesting loans.
Yeah.
So what you don't know is I actually serve on quite a few boards, and let's speak about one. In the golf industry, some of the policies,
about that.
some of the policies that currently are operating, guiding golf development, that's to do with professional black golfers in South Africa and actually in the continent. I put some of those policies together.
Yeah.
So I consult in the industry because if you look at how many black qualified PGA professionals, PGA is, if Tiger Woods plays, he's playing on the PGA.
Oh, I know PGA.
So it's the highest golfing body in the world.
Yeah.
In the world.
Did you see that Tiger Woods turned down $800 million to play in Saudi Arabia?
Because he's too smart. What's going on now? So that Saudi tour that was trying to compete, stealing players, what's happening? It just lost in court against the PGA. Tiger is not a small timer.
He knew.
So that's why that moment is going to happen with the people that thought they knew enough about Dudula. But it's okay. Let's move.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
So now I can afford whatever the hell I want to afford. But does that mean I must be selfish in my life? Does that mean I must buy cars and just post that on my Instagram? I've got a verified Instagram account, but I post my Makoko who's complaining about her problems because I believe that I'm a platform for people to express. I'm a mouthpiece. I'm an earpiece of the people. That's what I've agreed to, right? So why am I posting my cars or me flying or me being with the hottest girls that you guys know? I don't even flex with the amount of people that I know. You know, I like that kid 25K because some of his lines literally are for me. It's like he wrote them for me.
Yeah, he
like,
calls Java just to hear his voice.
Yeah.
He said that in the song. Yeah.
He says my contact list is sick. It's just that I don't flex.
That line, yeah.
So if I show you my phone, you'll be like, verify that this is the person. And I call them for you a loudspeaker and like, what? How do you know this person?
That's crazy.
But I don't flex like that. I don't. And it doesn't mean that if you're educated and you are well connected and you've got decent network around you and you can do a lot of things.
You need to move out of the hood.
You need to move out the hood and then be apologetic about it. Bro, when I speak English, I outspeak English people. I outspeak you nigga that never steps out the hood. I step out the hood, but I speak hood with you and I act hood with you. There's nothing that you can do in the hood. You can't move. There's no movement that I know how to carry out in the hood.
So which other boards are you on though?
Sometimes it's not fair because we have vultures watching, and then I promise you, and then they start and then I lose out on an opportunity to make a difference on certain industries simply because there's an idiot who's now threatening them. You know, like I said, I know too many things, but I'm responsible with how I move. Knowing a lot about you will not compromise you with me because I know what's important. Like I said, the sunrise, we're still part of it. A lot of people are suffering because they only can exist in the sunset. So there's a lot of life that we have to live, and we have to be responsible with what we say and how we say it. Not that you must be scared, but you must be responsible. I mean, if I'm on the board of your show, do you see how people would be like, we knew it.
Yeah.
What did you know?
They'll just come to some conclusion.
Yeah, some conclusion. Narratives will be flying. And just now when you guys are nice and you're driving them at Clarence, be like, Lux, put them on that shit. And it's not true. It's your own hard work. So why must I take you down that rabbit hole if I know how people behave?
I want to know.
Because the question
I have so
is...
many questions for you, bro.
Because
this
the
interview can go on.
The question is, everyone wants to know how is it possible that these things are being done. They want to know where you're getting your money. They want to know who you know. They want to know how you're making this possible.
If I tell you who I know, you're going to have a new conspiracy in your life. Like, how is it possible? I just told you. I am in the professional golfing space. Not just, I buy clubs at Dunlop and I'm telling you the professional golfing space. So if any else is asked about me in an interview, CNN in America, he'll say, yes, I know Lux. If, give me a name. If Gary Player is asked about talent in South Africa, when you say Gary Player, you talk about a big name overseas, eh?
Yeah.
Gary knows me personally.
And golf is where a lot of wealth is, of course.
Let me tell you, Soweto Country Club is the only golf course that's tournament ready, professional tournament ready in any township in the world. I mean, maybe I won't Google. I didn't say in the continent, in the world. It's tournament ready. I was part of the process of making sure there's investment that builds that golf course to the standard that it is now.
So it's the same thing that you're saying with like Richard Maponya.
100%. So today, we've got professional golfers playing on tour simply because we made sure that the environment where they come from has a golf course for them to even start grinding before they were even turned professional golfers. Some of the golfers that are on tour practice at my driving range and my golf course before Soweto Country Club was Soweto Country Club. So the infrastructure, investment and development that we do is producing professionals in our space because we're making sure the environment.
And you're trying to do the same thing with the racetrack.
With everything. That's what we know. Why must I know people if I can't make sure that they're influenced in investing in our vision as Soweto. Come on, bro, what's the use of knowing me and you say we're friends if when your light goes on your petrol and you don't have the courage to tell me? What friends are we? We're friends for Instagram. Are you mad? Your mother passes away and you're scared of telling me because for the first time I'll be entering into your mother's house, then I'll see that you're not actually rich, you're just Instagram rich.
Aye.
A lot of people don't say, I want to because we see where your mother lives, that are you nice or not? Because your mother,
guys, we need to make that a flex now.
Sure.
Like, let's go to each other's mother's houses, and you know,
Sure.
because that's where what charity begins at home. You know,
100%.
So
Let me ask you about Rob Hassoff.
Yeah, Rob. What about Rob?
What's your relationship with that guy? That guy loves mentioning you, eh?
Yeah, because like many other people, you're forgetting that millions of people on Twitter mention me.
No, but
Rob
he's this white rich guy, you know.
So Rob is equivalent, is very rich according to what the systems say. I've never peeked into his bank account. I actually don't know if he's rich or not, but I'd say he's rich because of Forbes and what they say. They won't lie about people. So I went to a school called St. David's, St. David's Maristananda. I spoke about the richest square mile earlier on. Now, nearly everybody there rich. And how they move, I'm now giving you insight. If someone has a braai, go St. David's at home, and I attend that braai, I'm going to bump into the CEO of Investec and Mang and the guy that owns Greneka and the guy that owns, and the guy that just bailed out Parliament, some government and some departments. And so there can be 20 people at a braai. But it's R1 billion net worth.
yeah,
And now, because I'm also quality, I'm not the help. I'm quality in my own right, in many ways even.
yeah. There's a reason why you're there.
Yeah. And when I meet you and this guy says, hey, this is Lux. Remember the guy I told you about that we were flying with too? Because I just flew this guy. And I'm connected. And this guy, I know him because he say, this is Lux, the guy that put together the policies for golf. And this is Lux, the guy that was, and this is Lux, the guy. So, and I know all of them. And when he's in Joburg and he says, Lux, I'm coming to Joburg and you're one of the people I wanted to see because I'm seeing you on TV. That can't be right. What else do you? Oh, no, Rob, no problem. You can come and see me. And we meet up with Rob. And everything that you've seen on social media about Rob, they take it from my Instagram, backdated. It's not like it leaked. A lot of people are falling for the trap that, there's a picture that leaked. What picture? I posted it. I posted
Even
the picture.
that one with Figi Lembalula.
I posted the picture. The oldest record of the picture hitting the internet was me. Even with that poor lady, Shem, the white lady in blue, when we were at a golf course, and they said it's Johan Rupert's wife. Hey, and everybody fell for it. That lady has never even met Johan Rupert. And we all fell for it because it just has to be white. Why? Because the nation is predominantly uneducated, emotional.
And they're trying to pick about what's wrong with like your movement and everything.
Yes. And even if it was Johan Rupert's wife, so what? Just answer me, you. Forget everyone. So what? So now I don't have, I mustn't take the responsibility in making a difference in my community because I have a picture with Johan Rupert's wife. Let's say it was. Reality check. Zuma has a picture with Johan Rupert. Malema has a picture with Johan Rupert. To date, I don't have a picture with Johan Rupert. But I'm the one, not them. You guys.
My question is, how do you still stick to the mission of the community when you solely the only one, listen, for figurative sake, you are the only one in the boardroom. You are the only one involved. You get what I mean? So it's hard for people to think beyond their self-interest. You get what I mean?
Because I know my worth, bro. I know my worth. So when I get into a boardroom and I look at you as, say, Betway.
Yeah.
Betway is the new kid on the block with online gambling.
Yeah.
And I look at what I'm the president of. I know my worth. I'm a president of millions of people. That means the economy is an economy pregnant with opportunity. When you look at me, you see a doctor that can deliver. So I know my worth. So when I walk in the boardroom, you might have 2 billion, but I come in with how much? How much is the township economy?
Way more.
Way more. So it's not about me or you, right? It's about the business of the day. I come in deeper than your pocket. If you understand business.
I understand. But
so you hold the leverage.
100%. I mean, they also need something from me.
So have they ever tried to convince you to listen, not to move away from the mission and look into your best interest.
Every day. Sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes it's
Unintentional.
them playing games.
Yeah, trying to see how strong
for
you are.
example, let's sing about him and say man. People will believe it, and we start changing the perception around him. And the other one says, yeah, I'll get him arrested, so that people start questioning his credibility. And the other one says, I'll do this, I'll do that. So it's them trying to move me from my focus.
But I'm saying not
And
move you
some of them
monitoring.
come straight. Some of them come straight to me and say that, kid, join our political party. You already have a beach house. If you do, now you have a beach house in Cape Town. You move to Cape Town.
I'm guessing this is DA, since you said Cape Town.
Of course. So beach house, ANC. Oh, come on.
But guys, what you don't know is that a lot of these politicians have big money.
Yeah.
They have criminal money. They're literally stealing from our people. So for them to offer you 10 million ain't a thing.
It's nothing.
And
pocket change.
They'll give it to you. Yeah, sure.
So you've been offered several times money.
Yeah, but the problem is you're talking to a free man, for real. So when you offer me money, is what I have. You offer me a position, it's what I have. What
don't you have?
What do you think? Right now, we're just lonely human beings. We don't have passion and love and whatever that people are supposed to have. But luckily, we grew up with enough love for us to continue. We're not missing that emotional side of life, because everything is too hard. If you become emotional, you lose sight of who's walking. Right now, I can tell you, for example, if I'm in a situation, if I'm in the hood, this building doesn't have cameras, so we're over vigilant, we know who's outside, how many cars outside. I know how the gate opens, does it make a noise? If it doesn't, then I must get one of the guys to check every 5 minutes outside.
If anything happens to you, there's no recording of it.
No, besides me, I just need to know how to move if there's a problem.
Right.
You see, if people walk in, if people with guns are saying, "Take Nina, all this equipment in," I draw them to where the cameras are, so that I can be able to deal with it even in the aftermath. But if there's no cameras, then I know that my best position is to draw them to the exit where there's attention outside, and so that we can. So these things come with experience and a little bit of training, but understanding your environment is literally the key to.
Earlier you said you haven't had any help from any politicians.
100%.
But I've seen you a lot with Kgalema Motlanthe.
Not a lot. You've seen pictures a lot. Not me. You have not seen me with Kgalema Motlanthe. You've seen two pictures.
Do you have a relationship with
You've seen two pictures coming to your phone now and then because the narrative is being pushed about Kgalema Motlanthe. When you guys knew me, you all thought the story was I'm Kgalema Motlante's son. That was the story. Then my dad passes away. Then everybody goes to my dad's funeral, even the media, to verify if
it's Kgalema Motlanthe.
if this is it. So the story changed from Kgalema Motlanthe to who else was my dad? Someone I forgot who. Oh, I was adopted by white people, so therefore I'm not Kgalema's son anymore. And
why is it because you speak well?
Nah, use the pictures.
Yeah, the pictures that your politicians were pushing.
Right.
That's all they know. So if I was the politicians, I'd take you pound for pound. So action for action. So what you've done this, I've done this. So they can't play that game because they lose easy. So they have to play what they know, which is to lie about other people so that they can look good. It's that shelling story. Lie about me to take my hand. You have to maintain the lie. Now you're seeing they can't maintain the lie. They'd rather all try to be friends with me.
No, but I still want to know, though, like the pictures with Kgalema. What is
so
it?
The pictures with Kgalema was opening up, his foundation was opening up a school, a maths and science school in Limpopo, in a village, not just even a township, a village where there's no excess of water, forget Wi-Fi. Did you hear what I just said? And he said, because you are young and you are in that space, Sauro, you understand your maths and sciences, I want you to deliver a speech so that the young people can resonate with another young person. If it's just me, Madala, going to speak, it will just fly over their heads. With pleasure.
So you all flew private there?
Well, they do. It's not special. He's a president. Even if you finish your term as a president, you still have state security. You still get your salary as a president. You still get... So
I need to be a president.
So because you now...
President of Assam.
Yeah.
The world now.
So because you are now moving with Lux from here to Limpopo, because it's Lux, you must tell your blue lights to go home. and the private jet to go will fly mango. Come on, man.
Mango.
And then what happens? What happens when this young guy, because you're talking about something that happened nearly just under 10 years ago.
Yeah, you look like you had a baby face back then.
Bro. So we're not in the sun like this every day, because actually we're part-timing activism, part-timing still working and whatever else. So when I take the pictures, I post them, and then 8 years later, you want to recycle the pictures as if these are leaked pictures. Bro, I've been taking care of myself for the longest time. I don't have a picture in a club passed out. So does that make me lose street cred? To hell with you if you think it does. Your streets are wrong. You're vibing in the wrong streets. So it's that's not the case. So I can pull out. I've got a gift from Saul Kersner. Young people don't even know who Saul Kersner is.
I know who Saul Kersner is. That's the Sun City guys, isn't it?
Before Saul Kersner died, there's a special gift that came from his home that was given, the pyramids. Why? I'll take a picture tonight of the pyramids and I'll forward to you of what I have. It's sitting in my library at home now on my desk. He realized that I mess around with ancient African history. And part of it is the history of the pyramids and whatever else. So his trip to Egypt, the president gave him this thing. So it's original from the president's office. So he thought, for me, it's just another thing.
Yeah.
But he likes it better. And his kids and everyone else around him is telling him this. Like, that kid is doing the most. Give him this thing. And I've got it. So now, is it a deeper judgment that the white people are in my networks and it's a problem?
It's a problem if it results in your actions being opposite from your mission, public mission.
And right now, what do you say? My actions are what?
I think it's premature to state,
No,
but
so
I can
far,
see
what you know, bro.
So far, I can see you're still going according to what you're saying.
Sure.
For me, my conclusion,
but sorry
not even a conclusion.
Sorry to disturb you. I just want to address him. But if the attitude is exactly that, then it's a problem, because it sounds like you're waiting for me to fail.
Not I'm waiting for you to fail.
I'm not saying you personally, but I'm
personally,
saying
for
a person
me,
that
you
says
know, you know
if
that
someone's going to
premature.
say something like that.
Bro,
No, but think about it. If this is a long-term game.
So listen.
You get what I mean?
So listen, more than 10 times in a space of a year, being shot at. 2 days Maponya, chicken farm. I can go for it. But it was looting. That guy that's sitting there can tell you the sound of a bullet flying past his head. He's got it on footage because he handles the camera. So we've got all this on footage.
Yeah.
So even if it was one experience where I'm doing my part for the community and I get shot at and I survive it, are you still saying it's fair for anyone to say to me?
That's his stance. I have a separate stance.
I'm not even bashing him.
I have a completely different.
But I'm not bashing him. But I'm not bashing him.
You must understand
Let me
that
finish it, so that you can jump on. So I'm saying for even people listening at home, if you're influencing their thinking right now, is it fair that even if I just did one thing and we got shot at, but it was for the greater good of the community and the development of our community, must we then say, we still need to see you? Ivan, must I get shot and just die one time?
You must.
And then
At this point, you must die.
At this point,
get this, guys.
Because it can never be enough, right?
Get
Right.
this.
Yeah.
The NC was talking like this once. We
Like
come
how?
from that. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't go
I wasn't
trauma
listening
and
to the ANC. I
No,
don't care,
it
bro.
doesn't matter. You know what they're doing? They were fighting the good fight at the start. Where we at right now?
So I like to speak about things I know.
Yeah.
I don't know what those guys
Yeah, I mean, I also
real
don't know.
intention was,
To be honest,
the
that-
fake intention was, because there's a lot of things that are not
Freedom
being...
fighting.
Look, there's a lot of things that are not being put to the surface. Like, for example, there's a memorandum of 9. It's a document.
Yeah.
It's not in the textbooks. It's not on any interview.
Constitution?
It's not even on when they speak on their interviews, they don't even speak about it. Memorandum of 9. It's a document that came from somewhere that said Bokrisani must be killed and die because they. So those things, because you and I really don't know the real substance of these movements. We're not there. We're relying on barbar. I don't want us to take someone's word as the gospel truth. So let's speak about things we know.
I just want to say my piece, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sold, dog.
Sure, dog.
Like I'm fully, I don't need to think about it. I don't need to hear more. You have cracked the code.
No, I appreciate it. And
You have completely cracked the code, and it's like anybody who questions is just naive at this point. You know what I mean?
Sure. Look, right now, If you look at my Instagram, I just posted a picture of a helicopter written Soweto. So the plan is
airport in Soweto.
no, that's a very old plan. So when you start speaking about it, it's a very old plan. I even have a tattoo. My tattoo here on my chest is written Soweto Airport because it's a plan that's been there and it's just waiting for us to execute. But we understood the market is not ready for that. So we needed to get the market at a certain and allow it to give us space to execute the airport. But the helicopter, we've got 14 police stations, including Eldos and Lenasia. And that helicopter that written SAPS is overworked. So if we need it in Soweto, sometimes it doesn't come because it's doing a search and rescue in Pretoria.
And they're chasing cars as usual, looking for cars.
100%. So, or whatever it is. So if I, in my own personal space and networks, as the leader of Soweto Parliament, say that I know a lot of people in aviation, their helicopters are hanging most of the year. In 365 days, they use them 10 days. So if I can get one of them, some of them have so many that I can say, please donate one to Soweto Parliament. And with my ability of flying and my networks, I know other pilots, then we use this helicopter to support our police stations in our community. Then Soweto is the only place in the world that has a support helicopter for its police stations from the people. Aren't we playing our part as active citizens?
Yeah, you are.
And that's a dream that's going to be realized. So before you know it, you can point the go-kart track, the motorsport development track. You can point the police. You can point the golf course. You can even play on it. You can point
the mall.
The mall. You can point. It's forever. And that's our contribution. We don't own the monopoly to intelligence, but we do the best we can. And if the best we can is better than everyone else's best, then I guess we're just the best around.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. That's some bars right there. So I don't want to go too far from what you're talking right now. What's your plan for Soweto? Like if you
what's
talk
the
about like a
long-term
10-year, 20-year, 50-year plan,
Sure.
Are you trying to see all the things you're saying right there and more? And what can people look forward to, like you building Soweto to be one of the, I'll say one of the biggest towns. Is it a town or a city? It's a town, right?
It's actually a township now classified. But it's
like
even
the
a country.
most sophisticated township.
Sure.
Let's forget the word township.
Sure.
Let's just say town.
Yeah. So the plan for Soweto is to, number one, unite Soweto. We've done that through the Soweto Parliament because everybody is on one page and literally addressing the same problems, giving solutions equally, right? We've done that. The next is to invest in our future by producing the type of people that we want to see in the future. People who are aligned with the economy of Soweto. We don't want to be importing skills because our people in Soweto don't have that skill. So we're going to literally force a serious hand in the education system. If South Africa, listen to how I'm speaking, if South Africa is slow in implementing a new education system, we will have a separate education system in Soweto. Not that we're rejecting theirs, but we're adding to theirs so that we can produce the people that we want to produce. So we're going to deal with a lot of the educational stuff. And then another one is to produce an environment that literally produces brilliance and gives our people an opportunity to have a springboard to jump into success. Jewish communities, doesn't mean that those people are all brilliant, but the people that come before the ones that are coming set up an infrastructure of success. You can be an E student, but because you are growing in a system and infrastructure that is set up for you to be successful, you will be successful.
It's impossible to fail.
You're destined.
So we are cutting that culture of God for us all, Kuluva for himself. That was a song. It's not reality. We need to make sure that we understand we must set the infrastructures, put systems in place so that the future child who is in Soweto or the future adult who is in Soweto is in and surrounded by systems of success. It's easy. So it must be your fault if you actually fail.
Yeah.
You see? Your kid can go to motorsport development, can go play soccer. Your kid can, and even the economic space, we're changing it because the current revolution is an economic revolution. So we are saying a hospital as big as Bara must be serviced, the database, that the supplier database must be people from Soweto because it's our hospital in Soweto. Then that's economic opportunity for how many people at how much in terms of value. So you're going to see now in Soweto, even the trucks, the waste management trucks that come and pick and get the bins. The people that are going to be manning trucks, those trucks, taking the bins on the trucks, will be all from Soweto now. The trucks will be owned by the people of Soweto. That's economic revolution. The billboards that are in our wards in Soweto are going to start leaving a percentage of their profit to the community. Soweto Parliament literally has set up trust accounts for every ward in Soweto, so people can be financially fit to invest, financially free to invest in the development of their own communities.
So that's why you don't want to be a politician. It's because you want to focus more on those development side of things.
Yeah, there's so much more we can do outside politics. Let me give you a mathematical example. Do you know that all the political parties put together, they do not cross 2 million in their memberships put together? Okay, let's give them a buffer, 3 million. But I'm telling you now, 2. But 3 million, and how many people are in South Africa? Let's call it 65 million. So the 62 million people are outside politics. There's so much more life outside politics. Politics is a fish in a pond. Take the fish, put it in the ocean where everybody else is. We are all not political. So there's so much we can do if we come together outside politics. We can't have a minority of people called politicians dictating how the country should move to a serious majority of 62 million people. Can never be. It's impossible. So there's so much we can do together. Do you know that right now I've got camera and equipment for days that I don't use every day? Do you think if you apply to a political party to help you with equipment, or you speak as people in the same community, say, yo, your equipment, let me use it, so you can build your brand better? Caro, what's our equipment? We've got Black Magic, we've got Sony's. That's sit and collect dust. I'm telling you. That's sit and collect dust. Proper. So why can't you have a conversation on what role we can play to improve your craft?
Right.
Why can't we have that conversation? Let's have that conversation. There's guys, but don't that our thing. Don't turn camera to thing. Come on, man. Those I'm talking about other cameras now. Don is my boy. A lot of people don't even know that. The cameras that he uses, I can literally get them here in the next 30 minutes, all of them. He's shot music videos that have won awards. People don't even know that he shot them. You see? So all that type of thing, we can do it outside politics. What politician do you need? Must I get a letter from a political party for me to give you the Black Magic?
Because I was going to ask you, do you think it's possible to have a real impact, staying away from politics? But it sounds like you have it figured out.
Yeah, bro, we have a real impact. Go to Soweto and tell them that do this, what Twitter does. A lot of people get emotional that their Twitter is bashing them or there's a narrative pushed on Twitter. Twitter's not real life. It's virtual.
That's fact.
It's virtual. Go to the real people. Go to Soweto, any house, and say, Asimtando Nhlanhla Lux, man, you might not make it out. The Gogos will
The Gogos themselves.
And the Gogos own Soweto, dog. The Gogos run Soweto.
and you can't have a PR for Gogos.
Yeah,
They
no
only
such.
feed from the truth. They live in the community. They know when their lights are on who fought that fight. You don't have to tell them on Twitter who fought that fight. They know. They know who just got shot. They know. I can actually, let's do this for the show's sakes. Just follow me. Let's walk into any house and have me say that, Koko, we're actually running. You know the story. I don't want to tell you anything for your own good. We just want food. Oh, by the way, while we're eating, because the food will come. While we're eating, by the way, Koko, it's not safe for us to go to the streets right now because you know how we live. We're sleeping here. But I'm not talking myths. I'm talking things that happen in real life.
That's crazy.
Let's actually do it.
Yeah, let's organize something.
Let's
like
organize.
Let's make it
You
happen,
pick the house,
bro.
right? We would drive in Soweto, and then you say, we're stopping that house, let's go. And I said,
damn, bro.
Let's do the right thing. The right thing will
That's how Africans live.
Yeah.
I feel like my life is changing right now. I feel like after this interview, my life has changed.
But yeah, talking about life-changing things, as a a young person in South Africa, I always feel overwhelmed when I think about the problems in the country.
Sure.
I always feel that they're bigger than me. I always feel like it'll take 50 years to fix. Firstly, my first question is, how can the youth make an impact? Well, it's a 2-part question. The first part is basically, what can I do as an individual to see a better South Africa? Because we're not going to die tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want to live here for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to bring, a new generation into this world and all these things. What can I do as an individual and also as a group, okay, or us three? Sure. What could we possibly do? Because it seems like, yes, even voting, all of these things just seem futile.
Sure. Look, you've got a 2-part question. What do you do as an individual and as a group? As an individual, be the best you can be, because that quality then is for us to use. Because, bro, if you're a pilot in the community, then we know that the kids might just fly at any time. In my hood, in Midlands, where I was born and grew up, the kids know an experience of a helicopter. On Easter, I have an Easter egg hunt. 2 kids that get the golden Easter egg, they get on a helicopter ride with me.
Nice.
So that's what I've done, and that's what I encourage everyone to do individually, personally. Be the best you can, because that's important for everyone else. Because if you're a doctor, then we've got a doctor in the hood. If my mom fits at night, I don't know what to do with the fits, but I can call you walking distance away.
Sure.
You're the doctor, my mom gets saved. So it's important for you not to let go. I tell the young girls that in that moment when you're somewhere and you open your legs for a quickie and you get pregnant, the whole hood gets pregnant. Because you are 20, bro. You are 20. As a girl, you're going to deliver that baby before you turn 21. Do you know who's going to buy the diapers? That boy will be out, will be long gone. I'm talking about the realities of our world.
Facts.
And us, the brothers and the next door neighbors, we there. And when the child grows, when they're 5, I'm automatically their security guard when the kids are playing on the street. So you're giving me a burden that I didn't ask for. So even in that hot moment, where the lamza's going nicely and the heat is nice, just think about it. When the zip goes down, you're just about to conceive for all of us. It's not you alone. So that's why you must be the best you can be, because it's for all of us. And then as a group, we just need to unite. We just need to come together. Look, let me tell you, top of mind, McG's show, your show, DJ Spoo's show. Why can't we make sure that we have, just for now, so that their growth is your growth too? Just get a big corporate advertising on all platforms all at once and we give them a rate card.
Yeah, that's
because if they say McG, you don't do what numbers you showed with the 1,000 or 100,000, then Spoo's numbers and your numbers, they get that number done.
Or demographics. This one country.
That would be the only time that would happen, sadly, is when a white or somebody from another industry sees the opportunity of uniting everyone.
Sad.
And
we can do it ourselves.
Sad.
Because if I sit with Spoo or McG and we talk about this, the thing they're probably running behind the head is, hey, probably he has a deal before, coming to us, And I'm not saying them per se. I'm just saying that's
example.
That's just the mentality behind it.
Because you got a lot of guys now getting into the space. Both Black Pen, they do pen well, they're vocal. So why can't we come together?
We need to.
Then you can just let go of that platform when you are big enough and you're doing the most. But you know very well that these platforms are for all of us. They're there to give us a voice. Bro, if I wasn't on McG's show or your show or Black Pen's show and I've got, what's that famous thing? Cancelling. And I've got media cancelling me because all of a sudden I'm a vigilante. Where do I find expression? I can't. So you guys are a serious part of our communication platform that we can continue to express ourselves uncensored. You see? How many people, imagine this show now, this interview. If the next McG's show, he advertises that Lux is on this platform, DJ Spoo also does the same thing, Penwell does the same thing, and we're all doing the same thing. How much viewership do we get?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we've broken the culture of that gradual, because there's a stat now, there's a study that the podcast will do this and do that but we can literally disturb even their
whole
their
system
studies,
of
their
it.
whole system.
That's how already broadcasting works.
100%. So why can't we do that? Why can't Rainbow Minerals, since it's Motsepe's company, give us 4 million for 1 month so that we can push all his businesses? Right now, there's a problem with Motsepe's company in Soweto. The mine there, the community is uprising now against it.
Right.
The biggest problem might be communication. He's saying that he does have the policies to help the community, but there's corruption happening. And I'm not giving you examples. So why can't you communicate the true? And we all say, for more information on Rainbow Minerals, catch McG live on this time and catch. And everybody wants to know what Motsepe is saying.
Right.
And then as your ad, all of you, the Motsepe is saying, sorry for what's happening in Soweto. I sympathize with the people of Soweto, and here's a solution that we're putting in place. Please visit this office and make sure that for more employment in the community, this particular person that we've deployed to handle employment in the community will sort you out. Millions of people get that message. And now it's not only for that particular problem, but it breaks, we are now going back to that horse, Richard Maponya, another color.
Another color,
ANC, breaking barriers. Because Motsepe is doing it, it's now okay. He's said it's okay. This is we can all invest in these platforms.
It's a cosign.
Which white guy must jump and invest in you if your own people can't? True. Bro, Motsepe would lose nothing if he said to me, what you're doing for the community is way more important than we can all imagine. My CSI, I'm giving you 1%, which is millions.
Right.
Where's his CSI going to? Right now, where's his CSI going to?
I don't know.
Nobody knows. But he's probably going to things that he believes in. Probably Sundowns, probably Foundation Yahaya, doing other things, Miss Sundowns, Miss South Africa. I'm just saying, maybe. But where the bulk and the return on investment is, because if there's a return on investment with his CSI now, and big players like you don't know where it's going, then there's no return on investment to where the money's landing. But if it lands with you, millions of people will know that, yes, Motsepe put us all on.
Right.
And then his name will live forever. But now he'll just be one of the guys that only Google knows, not us real people.
No, that's true, man.
Sure. You can't ask me about Motsepe, I know nothing.
Right.
It's like ask me about Mandela.
Right.
Those people in America have pictures with Mandela. All of us don't have pictures with Mandela.
No, we don't even have.
Sure.
Do you even have a picture with Mandela?
Yeah. But my sister did get a chance.
Yeah.
Nah, she got some school something, and then before you know it, there's a picture.
Sure, bro. But the point I'm driving home here is the Americans will tell you more about Mandela than we can.
True.
Because they had more opportunity and open door with Mandela's office than we could ever possibly have.
But for me, the question is, who's actually running the name Mandela? Because it seemed like it became a company, brand.
I know Madiba during World Cup. Something I learned that there's some ladies that patented that name.
Crazy.
And they own the rights to that name.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Even
But
the foundations
we
and
need
the
to verify
name.
these things. But all I know is my attitude and thinking is it doesn't matter who owns what. It matters what I do with my time on earth, time and space. The time and space I'm in right now, I have an opportunity to maximize around it. Because we can't control. If we hear that Kenya owns Nelson Mandela Foundation, how does that even have anything to do with anyone? It's their decisions. But you and I, right now, we can use the opportunity that the universe has conspired for all of us to share a platform, to share an opportunity to know each other and maximize it for ourselves and others. That's it. Who do we need for that? Do we need Zuma to really write a letter?
No.
And
I wanted to ask you about Zuma actually.
I like Zuma.
Do you think he was he's responsible for the state of the corruption?
So let me tell you why I like Zuma. I like Zuma because he connected easy with ordinary people, right? So that's why a lot of people said he's a people's president, and I'm not attacking any other president. Zuma was...
Yeah, he was that guy.
He was that guy, bro.
Yeah, they loved him.
Zuma people will literally faint when they see him. You see, he's that guy. I don't know why. We must ask.
Some people just have that thing.
Yeah,
It's like Michael Jackson.
So that's why I like Zuma. But in terms of politics, I'll need serious information to make an informed decision. I don't speak on what I don't know. Because half the things we know about, hey, Zuma's corrupt, it's what we heard.
Mainstream
propaganda.
media.
It's what the mainstream media feeds us. And me, I've learned the hard way. If mainstream media says I'm a vigilante and I know who I am and I'm not a vigilante, so I don't believe 99% of the things they say anymore because I know they lied about me 99.
Life child.
Hey,
So-
no, that
Not
was
daylight.
hot. That was a hot one.
So the riots last year, do you think that was Zuma's arrest was to blame?
I think probably the riots probably influenced it because if we are not happy about electricity and there's someone saying that's much about water and electricity, then they'll get the people who don't care about the water but therefore electricity. You see? So I think probably it happened at the same time, or it was the real reason why, but it's not for me to speak about if I really don't know it, because we have a responsibility here. We are influencing millions of people right now, just being on this platform. So we need to be responsible with what we say, because we could be at the center of sharing false news and making people believe it because they believe in you and I. So let's protect those who believe in you and I, so that their investment in us is not taken for granted. We really have the responsibility of carrying them through, because we're leading them in the space right now. So we need to literally be responsible because they gave us their attention, their hearts, and everything else. So let's take care of the investment towards us. Let's not just talk about shit we don't know.
Right.
So I would say, speaking on that, about investment on people, actually the investment on us and actually giving us time of day, and also people just pushing propaganda and all that kind of stuff. Do you think the state of South Africa, we're at a boiling point whereby anytime soon, right now, civil war can break out?
The grass is too dry.
And also the fact is, do you think in that instance, will South Africa be able to survive it, especially with just the tension amongst countries right now?
Look, the grass is too dry in many corners. So the smallest thing can literally
Spark
a wildfire. And the wildfire will continue because the rest of the country is too dry. We've got too many problems. So yes, we can wake up to a civil war tomorrow morning. People are dying. I mean, Shabeens, people getting shot at for no reason with proper machine guns. If people retaliate, it'll be a big problem.
I wanted to know, since how do you feel about that? Because I know you know more running Operation Dudula. So since you've left, there's just things happening weird.
Sure.
How do you feel about that?
I feel great because I judge myself on actions and what I offered as honesty. When we are saying it, we're being bashed by the media,
Right.
by the president, by everyone else that mattered. Now they're seeing it happening. It's not only what we are saying or what I'm saying. It just takes one guy to say, that kid was right. We are now seeing it. I spoke about the Sotos. I spoke about Basutos before it was a thing. I'm not blowing my own horn. I did though.
Right.
It's there. It's there online. Search interviews. I spoke about undocumented foreigners and how they are threatening our state security. Only now you're hearing government saying that it's important to address them because they're threatening our state security. I said it and I was called a vigilante. So why must we praise this kid? Why must we now succumb to honesty and say that everything he said is actually happening now? And I'm happy. I'm happy it's happening, because if it didn't happen, the longer it takes for anything to erupt, it means anything extra is a bigger eruption. So I'm happy. I'm happy that it's happening, and it's happening when government can still have a little bit of control over it. Law enforcement can, because it could have happened in 2 years from now, where not even government can do anything about it, and we just start fighting when we've got coups and we've got all that nonsense.
So do you think there is a xenophobia problem in South Africa?
South Africa is not a xenophobic country, and that's why it's easy for undocumented people to come here and even and
That
even
does
do
make
as
sense.
they
Sometimes
please.
they live nice. When they
Yeah, that's
come
why
here.
they live nice. You and I will never go to Zimbabwe and live nice. I'm telling you now, Let's actually do it for the sake of the show.
Right.
Stretch your
Let's do
boundaries.
it. I love the fact that you are a let's do it guy.
Yeah. So let's do it. Let's go to Zim. I want, bro, when these guys cross the border into South Africa, yes. And then when they go back, cross the border, they edgy. And then when there's a roadblock, they search themselves to double check they don't have a problem. They respect and fear their systems that much. Ours, they even slap a cop in uniform. And they even put on their own Instagrams. That's how much disgusting the environment is. We've let them slide. That shows you we're not xenophobic by any means. Countries that are xenophobic, foreigners don't move, bro.
But
We just don't move.
There's been mass deaths across the years of like once somebody with influence says one speech and then tomorrow people are getting burned.
Like where?
In South Africa.
Like where?
Like when there was, in 2008, when it was a big thing.
Yeah.
People were getting burned.
Sure.
People were being asked where they from and all that kind of stuff, whether they had a document or not.
I'm just happy that it's not me or my people that are asking such things.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing that I've led that promoted violence. Every time there's an operation, there's police in front of me, there's Metro Police in front of me, because we register all operations and we make sure, because our understanding is we are a pressure group to get government to work. You'll never catch me off guard, because I don't do this.
Sure.
Yeah, like a spin. Some people in politics, but spin. They'll go get people to go bash cliques, and then they have a sideline boardroom meeting with cliques.
That sounds like someone I know.
What?
Julius Malema.
No. I just said I hope that clicks. And you said Julius, so I don't know.
Sure.
So I could say. So like spin. I'm not in politics because I can need to spin.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bro, if you go to my hood, you will. I was at Julius's hood a few months ago.
Limpopo.
Yeah, I was there. Go to my Instagram. I was fighting the people selling fake food, expired foods to the people of Syokh. Walking distance away from Julius's house. I fought drug dealers, I fought fake churches, taking our people for granted, and I left. Invited by the community of Syokh. The day someone has to move from Syokh to come and help us clean in Soweto is the day I will know that I've failed the people of Soweto. So you can't expect people who fail their communities to do good for South Africa.
For the country.
You're the one that is mad, not them. They take
Also,
has there been death attempts on you?
too many.
Yeah, how
He
this guy
just said
dog, 10
bullets.
times.
No,
coming
let's
at
forget
him,
about
bruh.
the bullets. I'm
No,
saying
too many, bro.
assassination attempts.
Yeah, too many.
Like personalized to you, poisoning, all
too
that kind
many.
of stuff.
Too many.
Damn, please stay safe, bro.
Too many. No, they must also stay safe.
Issue.
Yeah, it's not just me.
Yo.
Also, I've got so many questions
I just
now
got
that
scared. I was like, whoa.
So you're the president of Soweto.
Sure.
We all know that Soweto's got niggas that's been a heavy.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
I lead everyone. Those that like me, those that hate me, those that disagree with me, those that agree with me.
Right.
Those that are on the other side of the law, those that follow the law or undermine the law.
Right.
I visit niggas in the prisons. Like now, Soweto Pule's case. I was there hoping that Shoba actually gets the longest sentence so that we can correct the narrative that in Soweto we kill women. As much as Soweto Pule was Tlhabelo is the sacrificial lamb.
Right.
Was a sacrificial lamb, then he also must be a sacrificial lamb. Whether or not he did it so I'm talking from a very selfish place now.
Right.
Whether or not he did it because we had this woman die, we had to close this case so that it can condition the young kids in Soweto that this is not right. Do you see what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So for me, it's important for me to say that, because after me being part of the pressure on the courts to get him behind bars, I now need to play a new role of helping him to get rehabilitated. Because at some point, all these people in prison, they have to come back into our communities.
Right.
So everybody, little spinner, bana lo mfounela ba re helicopter ya duma ko kae kae ba kenya dikoloi. and I know how to move around it.
Mm.
Yeah, because these are my
helicopter ya duma baking ya dikoloi.
yeah, because tracker.
Yeah.
Already I can sure.
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
So you know the guys that actually like doing
Come
the
on.
hijackings and stuff.
I know everything. I know everything. That's why I'm telling you that if I was, what do you ask, a mafia,
Yeah.
knowing people's addresses and even the first name of the teacher that teaches your kid, if I want to deal with you, I can. It's the easiest thing. Every time someone says something about me negative, I have to make a meeting to literally make sure that there's some of my guys that know that they're not going to go there and do anything.
Because they were ready.
Not because I'm asking them to, but there's some, because I know my people.
Right.
There's some people that I literally go, like the last time when your, I don't want to over talk about him, but in any case, when one of your politicians said, these things are thugs. Saying we are thugs. The real thugs came out, like, let's handle. I'm like, no,
Right.
there's nothing, that's not a movie. That person is not informed. Or that person is using us to have a political score. Allow him. He's part of us. Bro, if you talking about me will make you a millionaire, please talk about me. Continue. No problem. The problem comes when you just touch me. Words don't move me. You can say anything you want about me. The problem is when you literally move from where you are physically to come and interfere with my life physically, or those around me physically. Then you'll understand that magic is a real thing. You will disappear.
Wow. I think we should end on that
Wait,
note.
I just wanted to ask you something that I don't think anyone's ever asked him. Like, are you a family man? Like, you have a family and stuff like that?
Very big.
Like
I
you,
told-
your own kids?
Yeah, I do. I do. But remember I told you that what we're lacking now is that intimacy thing, passionate thing, chilling with family. We don't. You're just too busy for it. At night, we literally operating. During the day, we're operating.
You're on your purpose.
Yeah.
So how do you stay safe in that aspect when, you know, sometimes your counter, you know, your person can be compromised, you know?
Like Cherry.
Yeah.
Bro, I have zero emotions. around
He
that
doesn't
stuff.
care. It's like
Okay.
cherry.
Like, you don't play that Cherry.
Because that's how they get niggas. That's how they get most of the
And
niggas.
that's why they don't get me.
Recently, did you see the interview that
true.
says that Chris Honey was compromised when he was going to see...
He was going to get pussy. Yeah. Well, that's when he got killed, apparently.
Yeah,
You see,
but
very
look,
influential, very
Yeah.
powerful people,
yeah.
you know, their vices.
Yeah, so all these narratives and stories, they might be true, they might not be. But like I said, we must guard against associating Chris with that thing, because that might be the real narrative people are pushing. And just to discredit who he was. Because when you say Chris Honey, we can speak about a lot of things. The fact that he was incarcerated in Botswana for X amount of years, and right after that, when he got released the first day, he went to the camps to check on the guys before even checking on his kids. That's important. But if we association is power, guys. You see, so we mustn't fall for that trap, because a lot of the people that are out there, they're hoping that we fall for such traps. But for me, there's no girl that can sell me out. There isn't. Because I'm not that guy, bro. I get promised the cherry, the dome, skale. Maraban, it's not like, I mean, we are all guys here. Yeah. Some of my guys, they call it balando. Like the one that's nice with the girls wins balando for the year. And then you check balando, it's freaking man.
Sure.
So I might not have the golden boot for many years now. But it doesn't mean that we don't have the track record, you know.
Sure.
But there's no girl that can sell me out, because the only thing that a girl can talk to the media about, that thing will be another, yo, kanti Lux na masimba so. Because banking, banker, I don't have like secrets like that, dog. Like that. Yeah, lost some tolang chair. Like I don't have that. Every girl in my life, my mother, my sisters, even those that I've possibly been intimate with, they all complain I don't have time. They all complain about the same thing. Yeah, you see, but these people.
I know that.
That's the
I know
best
that.
complaint,
And then
bruh.
keeps them attached.
That's
eh?
the
I know
best
that.
complaint, bro.
Yeah.
That's the best complaint.
And then
dog.
they
Yes.
all start having beef amongst each other.
Yeah.
And then my girl would probably be like, yeah, you over prioritize your mother over. And then when I get to my mother, yeah, since they all think that they're
Right.
taking my time.
But it's the purpose.
And I actually just don't have time for nearly all these type of things. I just have time for the purpose.
Right.
Wow.
I wonder, sorry, Ray, I know you want to close, but you mentioned Konka, we're talking about women.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's a good idea to be having those type of establishments, Ekasi, where you're trying to build?
It is. It is. We just have to have the owners just have to be intentional in also playing their part in the township. Shout out to Kutlwano. That's the guy that's behind Konka.
Are you still good, you guys?
With Kutlwano, we've never not been good.
I mean, there was that whole thing, money, court thing.
Dog, Steph, didn't you hear what he said? He said, if you hear about it and you never seen it,
Yeah.
it's probably not true, dog.
Yeah.
About the event and all that.
About
kind of stuff.
Kutlwano.
Wait, what happened? I don't know.
Konka. Remember there was a
Konka
it's Konka, yes.
can never be, bro. Konka is.
There was
let me tell
the
you.
article written about after you started like getting more attention, then there was
Sure.
that article written about
I was at Konka a few weeks ago
Mhm.
because there was a crime threat, a business robbery threat that we pick up in our networks. So I was there strapped, ready to defend Konka. When we were defending Maponya Mall, we were in high coordination with the guys that were defending Konka, sharing bullets because we were running out that side. We shot too much.
Right.
Coming. So Konka,
Nah, there was.
Konka
I know you know what I'm talking about.
can never be, bro.
Conquering.
He conquered it. But anyway, yeah.
So a person like Kutlwano is super invested in the development of the community. He never misses an opportunity to do the right thing for the people. So it's important because these businesses, as much as they might have negative social impact, they have positive economic impact. So we need the money to push other things.
Right.
So if we have a Konka, but we're all managing it well, and we all understand we have a responsibility around it, no underage kids come in and undocumented people are working there.
Yeah.
It's a business that's actually for the people. Then we'll protect it through and through. So you see, so we must never choose the business unless it's obviously illegal. I'm just saying we must never have priority. We can always manage anything in the township.
Right.
But my question is, having a business like that promotes lavish lifestyle
Sure.
around a community which hasn't seen anything like that, even though they're not underage girls in there. Let's say the guy he keeps his business while they're not underage. Isn't it an issue that when they're exposed to that life, the women which are there,
Sure.
they sell themselves out to those men
Sure.
in order for them to
Sure.
live a better life?
Yeah,
It's that case.
Sure. That's the negative social impact I'm talking about. It's unfortunate it will always be there. Our young girls will always go to taboo. If there's no Konka, there's taboo. So they'll always, nature doesn't allow a vacuum. So I'd rather have one of my people catering for that market rather than having someone who I don't have access to.
Someone else do it. Yeah.
Because someone else will do it. It's not easy for me to say, yo, Ntwana, there's a Bokoko didn't receive, or maybe they bombed the ATM and Bokoko can't get their grants or SASA or whatever it may be. Can you organize a combi and bring it so that we can take them to the nearest other pay point where they can get their pension money? No problem. But can I do that with a guy that owns Taboo? I don't even know his name. Who's he? Is this
I also
Chris,
don't
I
know.
think?
Yeah, Chris.
I only know
They
that
released
there's
a
a Stefan guy.
Was Taboo still
but
around?
Stefan, it's just examples. I don't
Oh.
know.
Yeah, Taboo is.
So if and I doubt they'd say no for something that important because I don't think they animals. I think they're humans. But I'm saying I don't have access to them. So I'd rather have someone who I can call because I'm panicking. Njabo makoko bana le flopo. I'll it's a shore kepo itengo pleking so if I can explain that because he trusts me, he does it. You see? So we need to balance each other. Big time. And Kutlwano and many others, they play their part, man. And whenever there's a problem, we don't bash them. We go address the problem. That's why in a heartbeat, wake me up at 2 a.m., tell me Konka has a problem. If you guys are planning to rob Konka, just know that you're going to have to go through me first. And I'm one of the best shooters in town.
Shooter.
Sure.
I know. On that note, We can shoot the podcast off.
Steph. No, when
Thank you so much.
65.
I think it's just shout out to all the young people doing the most, whether you're being seen or not. Shout out to even those that are in the spotlight. It's hard to move when you're in the spotlight. Like ProKid said, the spotlight has been designed vele or far. So just be careful around those things for you guys as well. Yeah, there's a lot of sharks waiting for you to slip. You've got a lot of mouse traps around you. So don't behave like a mouse. Keep it tidy. It's just what it is. The important thing is for all of us to unite as young people. Even if it means that we must unite against some of these old people, that must happen.
Yeah.
You guys deserve to understand what $1 billion is in your account, because if you had an opportunity to literally bypass time, because what you guys are doing is bypassing time. You're giving people an opportunity, and myself an opportunity, to be with people that I'm not even seeing, and we're taking it for granted and just calling it a podcast. It's deeper than that. So if I think you're a little bit religious because you refer to the Bible. I'm not at all, by the way. Yeah. So if you understand your universal responsibility, you take this shit more serious. But I think you guys take it serious. So well done to you. But for every other young person, it's for us to make the change. I mean, before, we used to rely on SABC to give us a chance to express ourselves. And even if they did give us a chance, it's just 10 minutes out of their show that we get to speak. We're chilling here speaking about very important issues that are going to be shaping the minds of other young people, and very important issues that are going to be motivating young people to do better for themselves and others. And for me, that's just God's work. That's the universe's work. So I'm happy that you guys were a platform that the universe can speak through. Not only on this particular platform, even in your lives personally. I saw how you reacted when you said, when I made an example that I neglect some of the people because I'm focusing on the purpose. You're like, yeah, because you probably work so hard that people think that about you as well. You know, so it's hard, it's lonely, it's not easy, but it has to be done. And if we don't do it, no one else will. So well done to you guys and everyone else doing the most. So it is ready for you guys to have a podcast there with absolutely anyone, and your safety is guaranteed.
That would be
can
dope.
Talk to Gudlano, have a podcast at Konka.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, no
let's
problem.
do the sleepover at Mama Zala's.
Dog,
Let's do the
everything. Let's
Konka.
go to Zim, dog.
Yeah, let's go to Zim.
Sure.
Yeah, no, we need to set that up.
Also, a huge thank you to Kutlano because he set this up. He gave me this date. So thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out.
Yeah, Cairo.
Shout out, Kyle. Shout out, Kyle. Shout out,
Yeah,
Kyle.
I'm so sorry, dog.
So let me tell you, Cairo moves in the shadows.
Oh, he moves in the shadows.
Yeah. So whenever someone is even thinking of saying something about me, before they say it, Cairo tells me that you must be careful. This guy's going to say this. And he does say it. So I don't know. He's got some weird gift that we haven't unpacked.
What did he say that we're going to say?
No. He just said to me on Friday, you're on a podcast. And look, I'm on a podcast.
Damn, shout out.
So I don't know what.
Oh, that's all he said?
Yeah. Because he's got enough direct influence. I didn't question him how, who. I just said, cool.
And I was just taking a chance when I was reaching out to you guys. But then he was like, yo, you guys are doing a good job. And I was like, hey, man.
Yeah,
I sent him a screenshot in the group. I'm like, hey, look at this, bro.
Yeah. Cairo's my dipstick to measure quality. So if he speaks well about you, I know it's on.
Right, sweet,
Shout
man.
out,
Thank you
shout
guys
out,
so
shout
much.
Yeah, no, thanks for pulling up. I think I don't know how many times we've spoken about you.
Sure.
Like off camera, you know, when we see you in like in the news and stuff. But to be like, have a conversation with you and just to pick your mind a bit and see where you're at, you know, it's really, really dope. And I just want to thank you for
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
When I grow up, I want to be like Lux, dog.
Yeah,
Relax.
When I grow up.
relax.
You don't want to be like Lux, because then you're going to have a problem. You're going to have many people hating on you for things they don't know.
We already have that
I'll
problem.
take it.
We
I'll
already
take
have
it.
that problem.
I'm
going
ready
to
for
have-
war.
Okay, here's another one. You're going to have the guys that hate you
Being best friends with other haters.
hating their wives because they bath using Lux. So and
You
then
cleaning up the act.
yeah, so we're not only cleaning the communities, but we're cleaning
Eish.
their wives, everything.
No,
Yeah, shout out
So
Waste
now you
22.
understand why they hate us.
Yeah, shout out Waste 22 for studio spaces. Pull up. Yeah, I heard that you bought Pro Kids BMW.
Crazy.
So Pro Kit's real car, not the one that looks like it. The 325
Yeah.
that you guys saw on the album covers,
Yeah.
that you saw him spin around. It's sitting in my garage right now.
You don't even drive it.
We don't need to. Yeah, we don't.
Now I'm gonna take it off
legendary.
your hands once my coins are enough. Dog, I have to.
That's
you know.
legendary.
Shout out to Nonkanyezi, Pro Kit's daughter. Yeah, she's one special. My plan is to give her the car when she turns 21.
Oh damn. Okay, let me forget about that.
Yo. Away. Shout out, bro.
No, shout
Big
out.
60.
Big 60.
Bro, can you please grab a quick picture?
Yeah, let's do it.